Put your alarm on for the camera.
Nope. I will. Okay. There it is. Alrighty. C-stick. You trying to hear if you can hear us?
Yeah, we're good. I was making sure. All right. So it's been a little while since we have last been on. Let's cover a little bit of what everybody's been doing and into. We're gonna start with Corey. What's been going on for this last month ish? What you been doing?
Same thing I've been doing. Working.
This growing up thing ain't fun.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
It's boring.
Rough.
It's a boring life I live, I tell you.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So nothing.
That's it.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
What about you, man? Over here.
Nothing. Getting things ready for next year. Next year's gonna be bigger than this year.
Okay, big moves. Big
Yeah.
moves. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Putting down the groundwork for it. Nothing I really want to talk about
There you
yet.
go. Oh, don't talk about it. You just.
But just
Mhm.
trying to get the next step ready.
There you go. Okay. What about you, Sniffle Monster behind the fucking camera?
It's just allergies. Okay.
Who's cutting onions?
It's just allergies.
Okay.
I'm stuffed up.
Who's been cutting
What's been going on?
It's cold.
I haven't been stuffed.
Carry on. Carry on with your conversation. Yo, so what's been going on, bro?
So Derek, how's
No, don't talk to me right now.
I just been working. That's it.
Nothing else? You haven't done anything lately?
Nope.
Recently?
Kaylee went to dance this morning. That was fun.
Yeah.
I did play basketball yesterday.
Oh, there you go, you fucking nerd. How'd that go?
I'm alive.
She was out there dropping buckets, mom. Dropping buckets.
I said I'm alive. I mean, I made it. It was hard, but it was fun.
Was it an event? Like, what was
Yeah,
it for?
so it was the alumni, so anybody who played basketball before versus the new team at my high school.
Oh, y'all beat
Who
their
won?
asses, huh?
So we did win, but we did not beat their ass. We won by 1 point.
How,
But we won.
how many points you
Nah,
have?
nah,
I
nah.
had 6.
That's
A win is a
concerning.
win.
That team
Bru-
sucks.
A win is a win.
Brianna's out there dropping.
Time out. That team sucks. They all out of shape and everything, and they still won.
Damn, that's
Nah,
fucked up.
the
You don't even know what these other women look like. How, you assuming they out of shape?
All I'm talking about is the current team.
You know,
who's playing
listen,
right
I
now.
will say.
How you know
Lost.
those other girls don't play basketball for
I will say-
Life
indoor
is tough.
team?
Hold on.
You don't know.
Life is
You
tough.
don't, that's kind
Listen,
of fucked
hold
up.
on.
They got no
That's
time
They
to
were
play.
fucked up
very-
assumption, huh, Corey?
They were very tiny girls, not like short.
20. Oh, I was gonna say 23
They
was
were
a beast,
short.
bro.
They were just really petite.
So they were agile.
And we had a lot of weight. We had a
And they
lot of
still
weight on
lost.
our team, so we could, hip check a little
What
bit.
I'm saying is, and they still lost.
Nah, they didn't
if
even-
they lost you guys on the screen, you was fucked.
No bullshit. What it was is that they kept the
They were giving them a lot of fouls.
The current team now was trying to drive. That's not gonna work when you have girls that are just as tall and bigger.
and are
Yeah,
angry
that's
because
why
life
I
has
mean,
been
like,
beating
and-
them
but-
down
but-
this whole time.
And then on their end, they were shooting instead of driving and posting up.
Y'all playing
No,
opposite.
y'all guys,
Exactly.
listen,
We
I'm gonna
wanna
tell y'all
hurt
right
them.
now. That's not what happened. Brianna saw them, and she saw that they still had hope in their eyes.
I didn't know he was there.
And she was like, "Nah, fuck that. It's time for y'all to
took-
learn."
Oh my God, yo, I was her biggest critic. I was like, yo, I hope 13 put your ass on
First
skates.
of all, hold on.
I was talking match. I was like, get her 13.
Did you hear? So, the little girl that tiny one, Danielle, the one that I was with.
Yeah.
So her friend came up and was like, "Oh, these guys were talking mad shit about you guys, whatever." And I was like, "Who?" And so she
pointed at us?
No. So she pointed over to some kid. I'm assuming he goes to high school. And because number 14, when I blocked her and she missed, and then we got the steal.
Yeah.
He was like, "What are these tiny girls gonna do? What are these short fat girls gonna do? Blah blah blah."
And then you won. Oh, or is that when you hit the 3?
That's when I hit the 3 right after, and then the other chick looked back and was like,
Killed.
so we walked by them.
Wow. Good job.
Go get more.
Go get another one. Get out my face.
She caught him.
You got that one? Nice.
She's talking about her dinosaur egg that she.
They're short.
Yeah.
Sure.
that
Like,
she
What are they called?
I don't even know.
Archaeologists?
Archaeologist.
Is that it?
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, I don't have a chapstick. Can you talk to me?
Archaeologists.
Archaeologists.
Or are they paleontologists? Which one?
Oncologist. I think it's paleontologist.
I think so too.
Oh
those,
yeah.
No, those are dirters.
The song "I'm a Paleontologist" is like the commercial. Yeah, it was dinosaurs. You're right. Archaeologist does a shit like in Egypt and shit when they're looking for like artifacts and cave scriptures and shit, right?
Okay. So dinosaurs are paleontology.
So
Go ahead.
why you telling
why
us?
you answer the question?
I'm just taking a
Why? Just what else happened in your fucking life in the last month and shit? That's about it. They were balling up. Stop! I'll fight you.
Oh God.
She's such a fucking pain in the ass, man. Come on.
I didn't say anything else. Nothing.
No.
I work.
You
I come
actually
home.
finish the story because you didn't finish the second half of that part. What happened?
So anyway, so we won, and then we walked by this dude and his girl, and so I look at Danielle, and I was like, Danielle, for some short fat bitches, we killed it out there. And he like looked at us and was like, oh shit.
So wait, who was the one who told you? Which girl?
The Shauna, the girl that Danielle was with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She didn't play, right?
No.
Yeah.
And he like looked like, oh shit, they are.
They know how they know.
It was funny.
I'd
do it again.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
I'm sore as shit right now.
Of course you
you
won.
put our names off there. Yeah, no. I mean, it makes sense why you sore. Me? No, nothing, man. Same thing. Working.
Nothing.
Yeah, I ain't really did much at all, really.
You did sweep me last week.
Yes, I did. Yeah, every week we do something about football. We go through like the games, the teams that are playing. Why am I talking directly to you? I don't know.
On this side, I'd be like, what
oh
language
yeah,
is this?
you're right. So we go through the list of like what matchups there are, and we pick our like who we think is winning the matchup.
Okay.
And so now I think we are we tied on our picks?
We are kind of tied.
So no.
Can we run
No,
through
she might be up one. I did my picks. Yeah, you guys can do it if you want. So let's go. Read down the list.
Yeah.
For this week.
1, 2, 3. So you're up.
Okay. This week though, who we got?
All right. So
You made your picks already?
I did.
All right, come on. Go ahead. We'll just run through it real quick.
Wait. 11:24.
Oh my God.
Steelers, Bengals.
Bengals.
Steelers.
Wait. Wait. Am I right?
Nah. They're just gonna do it.
No. Y'all keep how y'all doing. We're just gonna do.
All right. Steelers, Bengals.
Bengals because fuck the Steelers.
I got the Steelers.
You picked the Steelers.
I know, but fuck the Steelers.
All right. I picked Bengals.
Yeah. Did you really?
Giants, Bears.
Bears.
I told you I was not gonna pick the Steelers from here on
I'm
out.
going with the Giants.
Giants, Bears.
Bears.
I got no horse in this race. It's just fun.
Broncos, Bills.
Broncos.
Bills.
That's a good one. I'm gonna go with the Bills.
Buccaneers, Falcons.
Buccaneers because the Falcons are terrible.
Yeah.
They're gonna beat them, and you're gonna be mad.
Of course, it's been happening all fucking year.
Dolphins, Browns.
Browns.
No.
Lions, Redskins.
Redskins.
I
Even
think
though I want them to change their name.
No, Lions. Matt Patricia. Yeah.
Wait, am I racist now?
Raiders, Jets.
Raiders.
Yeah.
It's unanimous right there.
Panthers, Saints.
Saints. You're only picking the names that you think are better.
Damn
than
right.
the other
Damn right. I don't know nothing.
Jaguars, Titans.
Titans.
I'm gonna go with the Jags. I'm gonna go with the Jags.
Cowboys, Patriots.
Ramsey's gone.
Cowboys.
You
said Patriots, right?
Oh, this is awkward.
Packers, 49ers.
49ers. Bro, 49ers 9-1.
Packers about to sweep them.
Packers are 49ers.
No, the 49ers are. Aren't they 9-1 or 8-1?
Yeah, 49ers are going to get like a kick. They're going to get 3 points.
Yeah,
Nah. They're going to get this guy, Joey Bosa.
I got the Niners on
No,
that one.
yeah, Joey.
By 3.
Joey Bosa's the younger one, right? He's on the 49ers, Joey.
I'm not, because I'm going to forget what I chose as soon as we
Nick
start
Bosa
this
is on the Chargers.
I believe so. Bosa, yeah.
So Joey Bosa is going to be all over your boy Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, we'll see.
Go ahead.
Seahawks, Eagles.
Hawks.
I picked Eagles.
Seahawks.
Get it the Hawks.
Or Eagles.
You picked Seahawks.
I picked the Seahawks. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Russell Wilson been balling out.
All right. Monday's game, Ravens, Rams.
Ravens. But the Rams are good too, but it's just like that.
The Rams are what? Like 2-8.
No, the Rams. No, Rams are like 7 and something.
I thought they were like 2. Whatever.
Corey, this is a pretty good way to see if my
So the Ravens
my
been balling out, but
personal-
I'm glad we talked about football because we will be talking about that Myles
Let's
Garrett
just talk
thing.
about
We're
it
just gonna
now.
jump into that.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So Myles Garrett is
Let's talk about
he's
it.
been suspended or whatever you want to call it
Indefinitely.
for the remainder of the year. They made a decision. It's the remainder of the year. He will start his season next year regularly. But you know, obviously he loses out on whatever money he could have made this year, any incentives and all that. Now, on the play-by-play, when I watched it over a couple times, and I know it's been a little bit since we've done the podcast, but it's still an interesting situation because they started their tussling or whatever. They ended up on the ground because Myles Garrett made a hell of a tackle, made a good play, beat his guy.
Wait a minute. But do you agree that the hit was after the ball was released, so it's a late hit?
No, I don't agree with that.
I believe it was a late hit.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'm more so speaking on the actions that happened after because that's where it gets a little.
That's why, but that could have led to the actions because I was like, okay, it was a late hit.
No, well, you could call it a late hit or whatever, but no quarterback, nobody like to get hit like that because homeboy he beat his man and then made a good play on the quarterback.
Yeah.
Now
on the blind side too.
And so when the quarterback went down, Myles Garrett tried to get back up. And homeboy grabbed Myles Garrett's helmet first.
Yeah.
And he pulled it down and then pushed it up as Garrett was trying to get up. And people are arguing that it didn't happen. Go rewatch
You can't
that
argue
shit.
with film.
Go rewatch it.
You can't argue
now,
with film.
For Myles Garrett, now you know what happened there. Now you have it. You in what's the word I'm looking for?
In a tussle?
No. Go ahead.
And what world is this? And what world does this say? Good move.
You did it. You
know?
made me have to do this.
What world does that say good move?
You antagonized?
Antagonized. Yeah, the word was antagonized, guys. So with this being said, like after he grabbed Garrett's helmet, now Garrett is like, bro, you're antagonizing me. Like here we fucking go.
Yep.
And when he grabbed the homeboy's helmet, I don't think the guy knew just how strong this motherfucker is. And he picked him up. That motherfucker looked like he's in the Exorcist.
No, yeah. He almost touched his feet.
He did. He did.
His feet.
But so he snatched that motherfucker up, and then the helmet came off. So then you got the lineman who's supposed to, like you're supposed to protect your quarterback. They came at him. Homeboy wasn't playing that shit. Popped the two guys off. Here comes the quarterback. He gets up like the little angry, like little brother. Yeah, dude, what you doing, man? And this motherfucker swung. He saw him. He was like, and met him on the other side of I want to say it's Villanueva.
I feel like it was.
Right at the refs.
He hit him. When he hit him in the head, you just see him like, oh, what was that? And then the refs blew their whistles, threw their hats and all that shit. And
should they waited a little bit longer just so?
No. Because he hit him with luckily he didn't hit him with
this is good enough. I'm good.
Luckily he didn't hit him with the crown of the helmet.
Hit him with this cushion.
He hit him with the helmet, bro. His own helmet. It was fucking gangster as shit.
He was just trying to put it
That
back on.
First off,
Put it back on. It's not
I
fair.
think that should be thrown in as a nominee for Play of the Year.
Yes.
Because to take the guy's helmet off and then strike him with that shit.
Well, after that tackle too. After that tackle.
Not
yeah.
for nothing.
That tackle
Rudolph,
was amazing.
Rudolph attempted to take his helmet off, couldn't do it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't just
So
like.
don't get mad if I do what you try to do.
Talk to your mic.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't get
Rudolph's little bitch ass.
You can't get mad
No,
if you
don't like him, huh?
if
No,
you
he's a
started
little
something
bitch.
and then
You know.
you basically
Hold on. You know why I have a problem with it? Because yes,
Tell us.
Garrett shouldn't have used the.
Dick.
He shouldn't have used.
We'd love to hear
He
you.
shouldn't have used the helmet as a weapon. Cool. But Rudolph started that shit and didn't get a fucking nothing. He didn't get fined. He didn't get suspended. He didn't even fucking nothing.
What about the
he
guy
got
that
to play.
kicked him while he was
got to
down?
continue playing and fucked up that game too because he kneeled on a 4th down, so they had to all come back out and play 4 more seconds.
Yeah.
He's a fucking idiot.
He probably needed to go into concussion
Star
protocol.
quarterback.
So
Not only did he start a fight, but he didn't know how to play
he's their
football
backup.
either.
He's
Fuck
their
that
star.
guy.
He's
So,
an idiot. Ding,
Wait,
ding, ding.
but there's a question. The guy that kicked Miles while he was down.
Yeah.
What
Goddamn.
What kind of penalty did he get?
He got suspended 4 games.
4 games, yeah.
Nah, that's way more, yo.
No, you know why?
Well,
Because
wasn't
he
one-
didn't use a
more.
weapon.
And hold on, then what's his
There was
name?
no weapon.
What's his name? Also got in trouble.
The fucking bottom of the cleat is a.
It's a shoe.
Who was the guy who elbowed Mason
Gronkowski.
after? No.
I think you're talking about the.
Now who elbowed Mason Rudolph after the play was done? Can you go look and see that who it was? I can't remember.
Who?
Yeah,
It was another Browns player. He got in trouble too.
Yeah.
I think he got fined like
What am I doing?
The Browns player that elbowed Mason Rudolph
You can just look
after
up,
Myles Garrett incident.
I was gonna say you could look at the penalties
Mason?
from the game.
Mason Rudolph, yeah. Like M-A. Is M-A-S-O-N?
M-A-Y.
No.
Mason, I think it is.
Nah.
It will pop up.
Just look at Rudolph.
Why'd you look up Myles Garrett?
I didn't. I said Browns player that elbowed Mason Rudolph, and he came up. So.
Oh. No, he
He
ain't
did
elbow him.
everything.
He ain't elbow that
He was on
motherfucker.
the floor. He was on elbows.
But that guy also got fined at least. I don't know if he got suspended the game or not,
Cool.
but
Not
the other guy, the guy who elbowed him after the whole thing was done.
There should have been 3 suspensions on not the Browns team, but on the other side, the Steelers side.
There was only 2.
There was 2 suspensions: Charlie Villanueva and then the other dude.
Cause
Was
Yeah,
it Villanueva or Villanova? It's Villanueva.
Cause
Microphone high.
Rudolph should have got suspended.
Rudolph should have got suspended.
Look at that shit. Look at that.
The two line. Those two line.
that shit
Those
up.
2 linemen should have been suspended.
He's like,
They
no.
basically just jumped them
Yeah,
like.
Yeah, that's
one
what
foot
I'm
off the
saying.
ground
So-
and
And then they
everything.
got
But
him
no,
on the
in
floor
all
and
fairness,
kicked
look,
him.
there's 1, 2, 3
Right.
Steelers players and
On one guy.
Yes.
Alright, let's not yell, guys.
And that's why he needed
All
the
3 of
helmet?
them should have been
Because
suspended.
we are literally in the
Is
room
that what
together.
Brown is saying? And that's why he can
I'm
speak his
sorry,
mind?
I don't
I'm
hear
just
you.
not used to talking.
I don't hear you.
I dislike
Oh,
Yeah.
Garrett Pouncey
Pouncey, yeah.
and Ogunjobi.
That's-
Ogunjobi.
That's the Browns player, though, right?
Say that
Those
without
3
your
players
American
were
accent.
ejected.
Ogunjobi. I thought he was on the Browns.
Ogunjobi pushed Rudolph after Garrett hit the quarterback.
That's what it was then. Okay. And
Not that it excuses anything, but Garrett's anger can likely be attributed to Rudolph apparently trying to pull his helmet off prior to the brawl.
told you.
Or CTE.
Because that's
No.
what happened.
No.
That's a big dude. He be pushing motherfuckers over. He
Nah,
don't.
bro.
So I remember seeing, I think it was Stephen A. Smith or somebody on ESPN or whatever was talking. And it was like they need to go and press charges on this guy and all that. I said, man, if you ain't about that shit, don't talk the talk. Don't
And
if you
then-
can't walk the walk, man.
And then
I
this
see him calling him a coward and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
You started
a
it,
little
though.
pussy
But you
though.
started
But
it,
because
like,
you weren't you didn't say shit when he was in your face, and now you want to go and call him a coward.
Maybe he
He gonna
did.
hit you with the helmet
Maybe
again.
he did.
Spicy.
Maybe he
Maybe I wasn't
did.
paying attention.
Maybe he
but,
was like,
what state was he seen from?
Rudolph is a little bitch.
Pittsburgh
Okay.
and Cleveland. Ohio.
Okay.
2 racist towns.
That's an all-America racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one guy was saying press charges. I said, man, first off, if you even throw it out there, you're a pussy. Because the football is a physical game, so you already know everybody's fucking tempers and shit are already at max. You know what I mean? You're out there to potentially go and, like, tackle somebody. Or, you know, you could hurt somebody or you could get hurt.
Cause harm. Like,
So,
no,
or just be disruptive in a sense.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think anyone.
Yeah, I'm not walking up to you to be nice.
I don't
Yeah.
think anyone who's been tackled was like, nah, that doesn't hurt. Like,
Woo!
Let's go tackle, man.
Hey, Andrew Luck did that. Don't say nothing. Hey, good hit. I'm like, oh shit, you motherfucker crazy. Lacerated kidney. Yo, I'm gonna throw the ball 60 yards.
Anyone who's going to tackle somebody
Crazy,
is
man.
out there.
That's my guy. But
crazy.
yeah, I think I just think it was a lot of soft shit after the fact. You know what I mean? Like during it, yeah, it unfolded how it unfolded. You can't get mad at someone's reaction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You did this, so now how I react is
Yeah.
off of what the fuck you gave me.
Right.
Oh yeah?
Ah.
No, I'm just kidding. That's fucking, no.
So it said that apparently
Mhm.
Rudolph said a racial slur.
Yes. Ooh, what do you think, Brown? Please tell us. Oh. boy.
So I feel like
Just do like this real quick. So yeah, okay. So, just so y'all know
That's
who's
not.
talking.
That's-
So y'all know who's talking.
I am a white woman. I just feel like if, like in this day and age, if he heard a racial slur, it would have came out from jump. He would have put his first statement out saying that I reacted this way because he said this.
So,
It took him until his appeal of the suspension to be like, oh, well, I did that because I heard a racial slur. Either way, I don't feel that Myles Garrett is wrong
for his action.
for his action.
Okay, I will tell you how the NFL what does work in a sense. Quarterbacks are coveted as the face of the
Yes.
the organization, so they definitely get some sort of a fair treatment. You know what I mean? And I told you about that crown, the Corona Familiar. We gotta go try that. It's really good. Like I was saying though, they're usually the face of the franchise, which would be you try and protect that person's image or whatever it is. Now, the way the NFL works, and we've seen this and we know this, is that they always try to put whatever in a positive light.
Yeah.
So if this were a thing, you better believe that both Pittsburgh and the Browns and the NFL probably sent some people to talk to him and probably try and brush this under the rug.
Yep.
Because there's no way that they would want you to be like, hey, this face of someone's franchise calling me the N-word or whatever the fuck might have been said. Right. You know what I mean? They always want to try. That's the same shit we're dealing with the Kaepernick thing, where they're still trying to not brush it under the rug, but pin it on him in a sense where it's like, we gave you the opportunity and you flaked it.
But it's not
where it's a whole other thing that happened with Kaepernick, which I personally would have done the same thing he did, to be honest. Because you guys know what went on with Kaepernick? With the thing on, it was like a Saturday workout. Yeah. Did you know
when they were doing like it was like a draft kind of thing, but like he showed
like
up without
a combine in a sense.
He showed up and did his own thing.
Yeah, because they wouldn't let him bring his own receivers. They wouldn't let him bring his own people to come like record it, like a recording crew, and they gave him a waiver of some sort, like on the Wednesday before. But in the waiver, he had to relinquish his rights to be able to sue the NFL at any point.
Yeah, they wanted him to get in line.
They said
so. It's not even a matter of getting in line because the collusion thing is still on the table. Right. You have to realize Kaepernick didn't go to court against the NFL for the collusion. He went to court with them for his back pay.
Right.
Because they held back the money that they owed him for his last 2 seasons or something like that.
But giving him that Saturday shot that they gave him,
it wasn't a shot.
Well, we know that, but that's their way of saving themselves from collusion.
No, it's not. Not at all.
Like,
no. That was them trying to make that move for it. But yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. In that sense, how can you say that is collusion when we're giving you an opportunity?
No, it already happened.
No.
They already colluded.
We know that.
Hold on. We know that.
Allegedly.
But it's never been stated in court yet. Let me ask you this. What major news has been going on for about a week now that could be detrimental to the NFL?
I'm going to go and guess Fox.
No.
I don't watch the news.
Impeachment.
Why wouldn't you just say it?
Because you said that we were talking about it.
We're not talking about it. We're not talking about. We're not going into that. I'm just saying that's why.
I think you talk about news people of the impeachment.
Rich people rub elbows with rich people, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Donald Trump probably got some friends in the NFL.
No, we definitely.
When Donald Trump became president, I'm pretty sure when the Kaepernick thing was happening, twice they said there was calls to individual owners, individual executives, team organizations, and when they had those big meetings with the owners and all that shit.
Trump even said stuff himself about Kaepernick.
Where Trump told them, this is what's been stated like behind doors and like, you know what I mean? Like it's, you can go look it up. It's been
what's the lady's name
broadcast
that worked on ESPN? What's the lady's name that worked at ESPN that got fired because one of Trump's people was like she shouldn't have a job. The black lady that used to do
Jamila
Hill.
Yeah.
Jamil Hill.
Jamil Hill, yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. The presidential elects, or you know what I mean, those people didn't like what was happening.
Yeah.
They voiced their opinion, and a fallout happened because of it. And Kaepernick is one of those people that happened to follow behind it.
Yeah.
And it was nothing that they said that he it's not anything that everything that he was protesting was nothing to do with what they're saying that he was protesting. He was protesting inequality and these black men being killed unjustly. It had nothing to do with no military, no anything else. And if I'm correct, I believe it was a veteran that told him to do the kneeling.
It was.
No, you don't have nothing to do with the military?
Mm-hmm. Nothing. There's nothing to do with the military.
Oh yeah, no. But that was just some people started trying to spin that that view. But don't get me wrong, Kaepernick came up with the whole kneeling thing with a person who served. Yeah. He said when we have a fallen comrade or something, we take a knee, which is fine. I think we're past that part at this point.
Right.
Even with the whole Kaepernick having a job, I think we're past that now. Because if you had to give me 4 teams right now off the top of your head that Kaepernick could start for right now, can you give me 4?
I can give you 4.
You can give me 4. No, I'm just saying, could you do that?
Yes.
So we know that he's at least somewhat good enough to be out there.
He plays better than more than half these quarterbacks out there now.
So the whole argument about skill could be it's an argument. You can go either way. But we do know, even in his showing, if you want to go look it up, you can go get it on YouTube. And a couple of the other sport, like Bleacher Report and stuff, they also have the full footage that's not cut. So you see his good and bad passes. But we got that because his people recorded it. He was more worried that the NFL was going to take it, chop it up, and put out
and show us
what they wanted, which could kind of be like mediocre or whatever. Kaepernick was like, let's be transparent and put it all out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I respect, but also could have seen it as, oh, maybe he was trying to spin it his own way where he would be in a good light too. But after I watched the video, it was everything. 45 minutes of him throwing, or 40 minutes of him throwing.
Did you see the little press thing that he did after?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Everything is in their field, their court. If they want to
that
play.
was the right
yeah,
move.
But exactly.
Yeah.
This is no longer in my hands.
And I don't want to look at it as the political part. I'm just trying to say, could this guy start? Could this guy help a team right now?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
You got.
There's a team that's
Give me
got
one.
2
Give me
wins.
one. Give me one.
Name a 2-win team.
Just give me a team that you think he could help.
Steelers.
Not the team.
Ah, yeah! No,
The Browns could use him.
The Browns.
The Browns can use him.
I would leave Humba there.
They don't. I mean
Baker Mayfield?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Baker
nah.
Mayfield.
He put asses in seats.
Yeah, it does.
So what I would say a team
It's
like
a name. It's a name.
yeah, I would say a team like
The
the
Cowboys.
Redskins right now.
Bro,
Cowboys.
Bro, put them on the Dolphins.
For real.
Put them on the Dolphins.
But I'm just saying
with
that
those receivers.
there's for sure teams. So to say that it's at this point now to say, oh, it's his talent, let's not do that, because there shouldn't be a guy like Daniel Jones is okay, but he's young. So when you have the guy who's a tested veteran who's been out there, who brought his team to a Super Bowl, and I wanna point this out because everybody keeps saying he had a big drop off. He had a drop off because he was injured. He had a core injury. You know when you hurt your back, it's hard to just sit up or lift something. So a core injury would be your abs and your abdominals and all that shit, right? So for you to try and throw a fucking football,
Right.
you
Right.
got nothing. There's no way to get that ball out. And then people were saying how he looked bulkier and stuff. Well, he's healthy.
I fucked up.
No, there's no switching your picks.
I fucked up.
Close that.
It's alright. The Bengals about to pull
Bengals
an
got
upset.
no wins.
I was like, damn, we really need Kaepernick.
But no, I'm serious. So the whole argument about him, his skill base, but we're getting off this. Don't
Are
worry.
we still talking about basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of basketball, no, I'm kidding.
No. This is good.
Well, hold on. We actually do.
no, you
we're gonna
can't-
hope. We hope Kemba Walker's okay.
You
Yeah,
can't
we
tell.
do, yes.
I'm
Very
thrilled
Kemba.
about this conversation. No.
Steelers Browns fight results in more than 732,000 in fines.
So I want to give that to charity.
I'm gonna tell you right now, 500,000.
Oh,
500,000 came from Mason Rudolph. Came from Garrett.
50,000 Mason Rudolph.
That's nothing.
That's nothing.
Oh wait,
That's a game.
he's receiving that.
Oh.
What?
Mason Rudolph expected to receive $50,000 fine for fight.
Oh,
A fine. He's gonna get fined.
fine.
Nerd.
I don't know.
A fine means
Yes.
they're charging you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're getting
yeah.
charged.
Okay. I was about to. Ooh.
That made me want to say
That's a great
something when
segue.
you said that.
For the topic I was talking about, the fines.
The language. What does it? The language makes me uncomfortable.
Get
What?
the hell out of here.
What do you want to say?
The COPPA.
Go ahead.
thing?
Yeah, you're gonna have to leave this one because I didn't
Yeah,
really
'cause
research it.
this one's like the future of like YouTube and anything else they want to go with. So, I'll give you the general like ad libs of what COPPA is.
Okay.
Real quick. So COPPA is the Child Online Privacy Protection Act.
Brianna, I have a question.
Yeah.
Can we start off with this? We're not lawyers.
When you
No,
type that,
absolutely not.
does that go across all platforms?
No.
Yep.
Does it?
Okay.
And originally, I mean,
the other ones are like, what the fuck?
COPPA, like I'm not against COPPA. I'm against what they're doing with it now. COPPA makes absolute sense. Advertisers should not be able to target children
Yup.
for profit.
Who's pushing this?
It's
The
already a
government
law.
itself?
The government already has it. Every 10 years they.
It's been a law already.
Yeah. Every 10 years they renew it,
Okay.
and they change the language and they add it, try to catch up to an extent.
Okay.
But since the whole like Momo, Elsa Gate, and all that other stuff
Fucking
that
Momo.
happened.
Momo was the
Momo.
Yes.
They said Molo. I was like, yo, what the fuck, Molo?
And Elsa Gate, all that
Big
stuff
chip.
that happened within the last 2 years,
Mhm.
they're overextending, and they're hitting everything like a nail.
Okay.
So right now,
So they're just casting a major, like
Yes.
a big web over everything.
yes. So YouTube already got fined, paid
As they should.
$170 million,
You know how easy
God
it is?
damn.
But
and
Nah.
left, and part of the settlement, that was a settlement.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's using his hands too much.
They basically
No,
left,
not according to us. That was Brianna. That's
they-
according to her.
They basically left the YouTubers out to dry. They're by themselves.
The thing is, you got to think YouTube itself is an open source platform, right?
Yeah.
Meaning that everybody technically is a private contractor. So YouTube itself should not be liable overall for the content that's put out there, but they do need to screen what they allow on their platform.
YouTube is no, and I'll explain why YouTube is responsible. Children aren't supposed to be allowed on YouTube.
No, exactly. So
YouTube is allowing and that's why they got fined so hard. Because YouTube, by their terms of services and of COPPA, is not allowed to let anyone under the age of 13.
Yep.
YouTube is going to advertisers bragging about.
Hey man, I'm sorry, man.
We're the number one platform for children. They were bragging to advertisers about it.
Yeah,
giving out ages.
But they also have YouTube Kids.
Yeah,
is that a demographic that was thrown on there when they were talking?
No, they were just talking about YouTube. They were just talking about YouTube.
I agree with that definition.
And the people, and I get what you're talking about. Like if you're a content creator, but a content creator doesn't control who's allowed on YouTube. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that's why I said they also have to screen what they allow on.
Content creator.
Also, but a lot of kids, you don't even need a account no more to watch YouTube videos.
Right.
Unless it's like a marked an adult video or whatever.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's like I'm saying. This is YouTube's fault. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, James, you're really playing the blame game.
I disagree. I disagree.
It's YouTube's job to vet out who can even use their service.
But now we know YouTube isn't for people under 13, right?
Right.
We've known that from the beginning.
So when the kid says, "Mama, Dada, can I use YouTube?"
Mama, Dada.
Okay. Can I use YouTube? Mama, Dada, can I use YouTube? Right?
What's that
and
say?
the parent says,
you're
"Yeah."
wrong for that.
What's that say?
Your brother needs to use the mic when he turns his head. I can't hear him very well.
God damn it, James.
So wouldn't the parent be at fault because the parent knows that the kid isn't supposed to be on YouTube?
Okay, yeah, we can go with that argument, but that doesn't change the fact that YouTube is going to advertise. Bragging that children were on their website. That's why they got fined.
But now, when we started our podcast,
kids under 13 were using it and were giving out their.
He said and
word.
I thought he said N word.
Didn't it say which our target age?
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
Do we have under 13?
No. That's TOS.
I mean, that's our way of protecting ourselves.
That's timeout. That's TOS on across any streaming platform or any kind of social media. Is you have to be over 13.
Right.
I think on all of them.
No, I was talking about our target age.
That's all because.
We don't have a target age.
Targeted audience.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Targeted age, audience, demographic, whatever you want to call it. For us, anybody who wants to watch it.
Right. So now,
but for I'll bring up the big thing is Jules, the Jewel Pod and all that. Mm-hmm. They said they specifically went to target younger children or like younger teens by doing flavored oils or whatever you call them. So the problem with that is that they put over thousands or millions of dollars into the advertisements and all that specifically to appeal to children or teenagers, and they did that through small things like maybe someone at a skate park, something like things like that, just to like make
it. Or they show like a celebrity smoking it.
Yeah. So, I get that, and that's intent. That shows intent or intention. With YouTube, I think it's more of it's such a big grounds to cover that it's almost impossible. But you gotta like I said, you gotta vet out that thing. You have to screen and make sure your terms of service is being followed at all times as best you can. See, it's impossible to say that they can do it. It's impossible.
Here's the caveat. YouTube was following the minor detail, but
I said caviar
was following COPPA completely until they went to advertisers saying that you can market to children.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And that's what they did. Mm-hmm. So, because the terms of service that says 13, that's within COPPA.
Yeah.
YouTube's not responsible if a parent says
so. Hold on.
Do it.
Hold on. Just like in the video game situation, right? As long as it's labeled or listed the right one, the game is not liable for the purchase.
Right.
So if YouTube, like it's been doing, puts it on there that it's for 13 and up, and someone under 13 uses it, why are they liable?
Well, what you're saying is what they were doing legally, right? A parent says it was okay.
Yeah.
COPPA says that you can't advertise to children.
I got you. I got you. So you're just saying COPPA's like, no.
Yeah,
I got you.
And YouTube was like, oh no, you can use YouTube because we're the number one of 13 down. Yeah. Also, yeah. I mean 12 down. Once they did that, they broke the law. Hence why they got fined. Yeah. Now
I can't read that.
What's happening is YouTube paid their fine, so YouTube's fine. They're good.
Freedom of speech and product promotion are not the same thing.
Well, hold on. Okay, so product promotion, I get that. But if YouTube is the let's say it's the platform.
Right.
YouTube has rules on said platform.
The Mike James.
Oh.
You want to Joe Rogan's move?
Yeah. I always tell you move it with you.
Yeah.
So if YouTube is the one saying like this is the rules across the board. Now, if someone that's like when like you're driving, it's the speeding limit.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I call it a speeding suggestion, but it's the rule.
Right.
It's only breaking the law if I get caught. Right.
Fair.
Yes.
No, it's always breaking the law.
No, it's not.
What is he talking about? So, anyways, same thing with the YouTube thing. If YouTube says you have to be 13 and up to use this platform, YouTube should be covered in the sense that they did say this is our rule. Now, if they openly, like you said, threw out statistics like, hey,
Derek is on track. I agree with.
If YouTube says that damn, he threw me off. If YouTube says that this is our rule, and they go get advertisers and they start saying like, oh, this is the demographic, this is what we have, and kids under 13 are included, they should be fined for that part.
Yeah.
But overall, should not be held if all these parents are allowing their children on there on when they shouldn't be. You got kids. You got the timer. I don't know if it's already off.
No, COPPA absolutely says it's okay for you to have children on it if the parents say it's fine. You still can't market to advertisers about the children.
Yes, yeah,
and that's the issue.
What if it was just a backroom conversation? Like they were just talking shit to like what's another big streamer?
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Yeah, you can.
So I get it.
I
think what you're saying is you were bringing up the light. You're bringing light to what the COPPA wants to
at
do.
No. At the moment, this is what happened with YouTube. I'm not even getting to the people, the creators yet. This is what's scary. YouTube's done.
So you said 170 million.
YouTube's fine now. They already paid the fine.
The government's just like this.
Here's the issue now. Now the creators are at risk.
So what about Facebook? What about Facebook? Facebook need to get burnt because I know all these little kids be on this shit.
They can be.
And Pinterest too.
So,
keep your ass off Pinterest.
You know how Facebook was going around telling people that's not your real name and asking for IDs?
Yes.
So why aren't they asking for IDs when you make the actual account?
Fuck that! I didn't give them my ID.
I'm just saying.
So now the thing is, YouTube's good. They had this rule now, like and this has happened to a lot of people. Their videos have been changed from like free to children. Now
free to kids.
Here's the thing, like so originally you chose. Originally, you only had to choose if your video was adult, right? Like you had to age-gate it. Now you have to specifically choose between children and adult. One of the stipulations for the fines that YouTube had to do is if children is a choice, no advertising, so you can't make money off of it, no comments, and you can't get notifications if there's new videos.
That's
so
YouTube
people,
kids.
Right?
Basically. But people. But yes. Right, but now that's on YouTube. So people who are making like a lot of money off of like let's say you made Let's Play videos on Pokemon or whatever, you basically out of a job.
Yeah, we can't play Let's Play.
Here's the thing though, the creators like you, me, or whatever else are at risk.
What did it say?
It says if YouTube advertises specific content to young users, then yes, they are responsible. But if they just relay their demographic data, that's not necessarily marketing to minors.
But
that's what I was thinking.
That's not what.
That's not what's happening.
But no, that's exactly. That's not what's.
They were saying.
They were lagging in a sense.
Yeah.
They were attracting advertisers because of children.
Yeah.
Using the children.
They were like, "Hey, we have kids on our."
Exactly.
Yeah.
So right now, what's happening is the creators are at risk of getting $40,000 fines for violating COPPA themselves. And the scary thing is how vague how vague COPPA is. Right, like you can get fined. You can if you're charged for mislabeling for instead of going kid, you chose adult, right? Because those are the 2 choices they have now.
We have to watch.
Let's see, sticks, homie.
You have and they decide, oh, you violated these terms, and these terms are anything from bright colors to animated, to just talking about video games. You can be fined for mislabeling.
Bright colors.
Bright colors,
You can't have flashing
Whatever
lights,
happened,
party thing, nothing.
Whatever, where does the line between well, I guess they're video, so it's not so much freedom of speech.
You can't even talk about certain celebrities because if it's appealing to a child, you can
Hannah Montana.
Just saying that right now, we can get fined. Depending on how they feel.
Or the logo.
Selena Gomez.
Whatever they.
Chill out. They're on their way now. See? The feds is coming.
Wait. In all fairness, Selena Gomez is no longer for kids.
And we
no,
and neither is Miley
when
Cyrus.
she sang that taki shit,
we
oh shit.
We all know
You know what taki is?
we all have.
If that's for a kid, then she should get fined too.
Yeah. Okay.
Heck, even anime technically can be at risk of.
Yeah. So everything.
Bouncing boobs.
It's almost. Hold on, guys, bring it in. So it's almost just as big as how fair use and all that stuff was coming up.
Yeah.
So it's something we need to keep an eye on and also try and make sure that we put our input in it as well. Okay. Overall, what is the move or how's the way to try and put your voice out that you don't want it taken away?
Well, right now,
or implemented.
There's a if you look up COPPA, there's you can talk to the government officials and leave a comment how you feel about it, pro or against. But they're not taking a vote, and this is coming in January 1st.
Okay.
This is right around the corner, and it closes in December.
So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll probably bring it up a couple more times in the conversations just to make sure that we're all able to talk about what we want to talk about and include any images and stuff that we want to include, wear shirts or whatever while we do these videos. I do want to move on to another conversation. I forgot what it was. Oh, Rodney Reed. There's another one. The Rodney Reed situation. Corey, do
you guys know about
your verse on this one?
Innocent man that was.
Do you want me to say it?
About innocent.
Do you want me to say the synopsis?
It's just the one who was on they delayed his
Yes.
He was on death row.
So
Delayed it.
you can.
I don't know the background of the story.
So basically,
I'll chime in when I need you.
So basically,
or feel I need you.
So allegedly,
yeah, allegedly. That's the word. That's the word.
Allegedly, he murdered this white woman. And the reason how they know that he murdered the white woman is because his semen was found in her vagina.
Okay,
so
but
they had sex. Okay.
They could have had.
Whoa.
So
sometimes rape does happen, James.
Okay,
but hold on. No, it's kind of hard to believe.
Okay,
you're such a man.
Listen. So he said no. We were sleeping together. She was having an affair with me. She was married.
Okay.
No. You must have killed her. He got sentenced to life.
With the husband
death penalty.
Death penalty, yeah.
So then, the reason why this is coming up is because one of the husband's co-workers
and his mistress
came and said, hold on, you're going to kill this man, when he told me that he killed his wife because he found out that she was an N lover.
You have an affair.
N-word lover. And hold on. It gets a little more spicy. His girlfriend or whatever at the time, the lady he was also messing around with, came out and said that she went to his house. She went to his house to go clean up blood and didn't know whose blood it was.
Yeah.
Come to find out, when he had bragged to his coworker or told his coworker, he told him that he beat her with a baseball bat to death. They have not found the bat. They have not found the body. Right? They didn't find her body.
No.
So how'd they find the semen and
stuff?
stuff?
I was about to say, how did you know about
No,
the
they found her body.
I don't think they did.
Yeah.
Go look. I'm not sure. I don't think they
found her
did.
body. That's how they knew she had.
No. Because the semen and stuff was found in a girl from before.
What?
So
Yeah,
No,
that's
how
exactly. No.
No.
He has priors as well of similar situations or similar encounters with women.
So did they find his semen in her on her bed or something? Like how did they connect?
I don't think they found her body.
Corner of the ceiling.
I think they found it in her underwear.
So they said that allegedly he raped and murdered her. That's what happened.
Allegedly. Can I help you?
Stay there. Mommy, we can open it after this. I'll play with you, okay? Alright. No, not right now. Play with your dinosaur.
So, yeah, did you find it? Did it say that? 'Cause I think it was found in her underwear. But he had said that were having an affair or whatever. And I brought this up more so to speak on the how fast people are to jump on a bandwagon.
Okay.
Where we had these movements and motions beforehand, before everybody had all this information. Sorry. People were jumping on saying free Rodney Reed and all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, if this guy didn't do what he's in jail for, he should be released.
Oh shit.
What?
When he was found guilty in 1996, it was an all-white jury.
Yeah, that's why they also put it back. But I will say, if he's in jail for the murder,
those aren't his peers.
if he's in jail for the murder and rape of this woman and did not do that, he should be released. He does have prior things from I want to say it's like Ohio or something, but I could be wrong. But
that shows a pattern.
That shows a
pattern.
pattern.
Actually shows like
That's
some kind of pattern.
And it's the same thing. Now, I'm not saying that this guy did that, but
Right.
I think he got charged for raping his handicapped girlfriend.
Ooh.
Him, his like mentally.
Rodney Reed.
Rodney Reed.
Come on. Man.
Yeah, she had like a mental delay of some sort. Just probably like a little. I don't want to say slow, but mental delay or whatever. And I think that was brought on by a friend or a family member of the girl.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, so it said her body. So Stites was living with her fiance. Blah blah blah. She was working at a grocery store. She was scheduled to a 3:30 morning shift. She didn't show. They called the police. They found her later that day on the side of the road. She was raped and strangled. He did not become a person of interest until the following year.
They looked into his priors.
Because he had been arrested and charged with kidnapping, beating, and attempted rape and murder of another woman, which was 6 months after Stites was killed.
Yeah.
Damn.
So then they were like, you must have killed both of them.
And when he was in jail, got charged. They tried to charge him with something too.
Yeah.
Wait, while he was in jail?
While he was in jail.
Did the crime happen while he was in jail?
I don't know. I think they found the body or whatever it was while he was in jail, and his semen was there. Now, I'm not saying this guy done anything or whatever. I'm just saying more so on the social media part of it.
Just wait. This one's kind of tough.
You gotta
be quiet.
You gotta watch and see. Let the information come out, because you gotta go and look. If you don't go and look yourself for information, you shouldn't be just fucking jumping on the bandwagon because everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Simple as that. Because you wouldn't go and fucking, if you were allergic to something and everybody's eating it, you ain't gonna go try it, right?
No.
And I don't care.
I'm allergic.
And listen, I don't care if
I said if you were allergic, so that's already fuck you.
And the thing is, a lot of the time people go, "Oh, he said he's innocent," and that's all it takes. Just because you wanna, you're already on a side or whatever. Like, especially in this climate, and like people are always like, "Oh, it's a race thing" or whatever.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a race thing.
That's the second one.
Scroll up. Let me see.
But just because you're the same race as somebody
No,
does not mean that they are owed you to automatically just be on their side.
Yeah,
You gotta-
exactly. Yeah.
Like
Me, I would personally, I would want the information out where I could learn and know what was happening before I want to make an educated stance. You know what I mean? I wouldn't just want to be like, "Yo, free the homie." That's like, we always talk about this. So we hate when motherfuckers be like, "Free the homie," and I'm like,
he
fucking
beat his wife.
And like, what are you talking about? Free him? No, that motherfucker deserved to sit in jail.
He shot his cousin. Leave him there.
But yeah, I just really wanted to touch on that. But
because your friends, y'all want him.
so he got stay until next year, I think it is.
Did he?
I think so.
All right.
Because they're gonna reopen the case and all that, and he has a whole bunch of, like the wrongfully accused organizations backing him, which is perfect. Like, because now you'll really dig in and find everything. And I hope if you find some shit, you put it out there. Now, as journalists and stuff, people like to bring their angle or their agenda to the light. Like, we want to make this look as best as we can, and they kind of sometimes just skip or skim over the stuff that could go against what they're saying.
Isn't that when it stops being journalism?
There's no integrity right now.
There's no integrity.
No, yeah.
It was a belt that was used as a murder weapon.
Oh shit!
And
Yo, Corey, you wear a belt.
It was never
Oh
tested.
shit, Derek, you were about.
It was never tested for DNA.
Nah, I'm thick now. I don't need a belt.
Oh shit!
I have a belt on.
So it's not you then. If you got your belt.
Okay.
Okay. We know it wasn't Corey. You can check him off.
Wow.
Can we though? Sometimes murderers like to wear their trophies.
That's true. Find out. No, if you just told me they got the belt, then how they know?
But do they have the belt?
I said it was never tested. I said they just knew it was a belt.
Do they have said belt?
I don't know.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, nah. So just stop. Don't jump on bandwagons and stuff, man. Do some research on your own and whatnot.
Do some
and
critical
look into
thinking.
Shit. Yeah, for real. That's the problem. Like, that's actually it. There's no thinking on your own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa. Okay.
I know.
So her husband later served a 10-year prison term for sex crime and kidnapping, right?
Her husband.
He said.
Her husband.
So why isn't he arrested?
Hold on. Obviously, it was racially charged. It said a confession by Jimmy, who was the husband.
Did he crack corn?
On October 29th of this year,
Did you care?
Arthur Snow, who was a former member of the Aryan Brotherhood, and Jimmy's prison mate, disclosed that Jimmy had confessed to murdering Stacy the whole time, saying, "I had to kill my N-word loving fiance," and that's why. They were like,
that sounds like bullshit though.
Hold on.
Because why would
what are you looking on?
less than a month to live.
But why would the guy from the
Innocence
Aryan Brotherhood even care?
Probably
It's just
able to cut
That's
a deal.
the one I was talking about.
Probably,
Yeah.
probably able to cut a deal.
Okay.
Because
there's
sometimes they'll cut you a
There's
deal
that.
if you can give them another crime.
We won't kill you if you tell us why you killed her.
He said, "Shut the fuck up, crack corn."
I'm glad I was the only one that laughed.
That's crazy, man. And he was. Woo! Anyways.
Carry on.
All right. So the capital murder charge.
Who's Cupcake?
Cupcake, the little girl, the baby.
What?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know nothing.
Oh my
Wait,
god.
what about little baby? Is this gonna get dark?
You just said capital murder, little baby. I'm upset.
Oh no.
the little girl that?
Tell us what happened.
Yeah, stop. Oh God, and then
All
fucking
right.
tell us.
All right.
Such
but
a female.
hold on,
She don't want to
stop.
break the bad news.
Stop.
Guys,
Oh my
guys.
God,
She
I don't
sat
know
behind the
how to
camera
stop.
like
Oh my
this.
God.
Cause she gotta break it to us now.
All right, listen.
I'm gonna.
So a 3-year-old goes missing. Her name was Camille McKinney. She goes missing. Nobody can find her. Whatever.
Was she black?
They found her body inside of a dumpster that was
Wait,
taken
this
to
the
a
baby that
landfill.
was missing from the party
Yes.
2 months ago?
What kind of party?
Yeah,
Like
a
a birthday party?
party.
Birthday
They
party, I
came
remember
and
this.
stole this baby
I
from a
remember
birthday
this.
party.
Oh shit! All right, let it go. Go, go,
And
go.
nobody
Tell us.
knows them.
All right, tell the story.
So, anyways, okay, so they steal this baby on October 12th. They stole her from a birthday party. They called her
These
Cupcake.
people are nobody to her.
So
No.
Nobody, yeah.
So they just came in.
Yeah.
And it said, so basically, the Amber Alert was issued, all this stuff. Then, I'm trying to figure out, there was something. They can't say what the tip was, but then they got a tip saying that there was a body found in the landfill. Oh, God. Shut up. She's black.
Damn.
She is. She's little. Look how cute she is.
She's cute. You had to say black like that?
But she's not Irish.
I feel Brianna said that
You
she's
heard how she
cute
said it?
after because you realized she said black.
No.
She felt like she had to go out of her way.
No, she's a cute girl.
She's cute. Eat for a black baby. No, I'm playing.
Nah.
Oh my god. Okay, so anyways, so these two people are facing the death penalty.
Good. Fuck them.
They threw her in a dumpster.
But what they do? They just took her to kill her? Like, what the fuck?
There wasn't a lot of information on why they took her in the first place, or
You want another one for
how the hell. He said black Irish.
Oh, that is a thing, though.
Black Irish is a thing.
I'm trying to see.
No,
Yeah, so 39-year-old, 29-year-old, capital murder charge.
Yeah, no, I mean,
They
you
just
taking
saw
and
this
you
baby,
taking and
like-
killing kids, bro. Yeah, kill them.
Yeah.
My thing is, and I hate this. I think we've spoken on this a couple times. I hate that we used up so much resources to keep people alive who are on death row.
Yeah.
If we got solid proof, they've been convicted and found guilty, and there's no
Doubt.
no doubt or reason to have doubt, get them out. Get them out of here. Just because you got to realize how much does it fucking cost to keep someone in prison getting 3 square meals a day
Yeah.
They get clothes on their back. They taking showers and shit. Fucking mop this motherfucker up and get him out.
In all fairness, if you take a life, you should lose your life.
A life for a life is fine with me. The Bible says some shit like that, right?
I don't know.
Hey,
thou killed
separation of church and state.
Thou killed the man, killed the motherfucker back. Some shit.
There's no separation of church and state.
Why? Elaborate.
Because when you get married, you do it in a church and you gotta say, and the God invested in me or whatever the fuck they say.
You go to court.
You can
and
go
then
to.
swear to God.
Fuck, I keep doing it.
You can go to other like places to get married.
Yo,
You don't have to.
on the Bible.
swear to
So-
that.
You go to
swear
the
the truth?
courthouse and they still make you swear on the Bible.
When you go to the courthouse, they do what? They swear you in.
To God.
Where did your hand go?
On the Bible.
On the
On
Bible.
the Bible.
I don't put my hand on nothing. I ain't going to court. Fuck that.
I'm just saying the whole.
Send out the warrant. Send out the warrant. I ain't scared. I ain't scared.
See you.
Oh, she died of asphyxiation.
Asphyxiation. So they
So they
strangled her.
suffocated her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Damn. How old?
She was 3.
Yo,
Fuck.
they should choke these motherfuckers within the inch of their
But then
life.
stop.
She was
And
outside
stop.
playing.
Let them feel it.
Choke them again.
By herself?
And just
No, she was
stop.
outside
Like, oh
playing
my
with the other kids
God.
and they snatched her up.
I just don't understand how someone just scoops a kid up and no one realizes at a fucking kid's party.
So many kids.
Where?
yo.
Sorry.
The people, the adults.
Where were all
But,
the
like,
adults?
That's what. Like,
Because this day and age now, you can't just send your kids outside to play.
But that's why I don't. That's why I don't play.
That's why you don't send your kids outside, right?
I don't know my kids.
Kaylee hasn't seen the light of day in years.
They got real dark.
And she carries a knife. What up?
Corey said, I don't
Like-
know my kids. Stop putting your arm over here, bro.
Anyways,
I don't know what's happening.
Anyways,
Um,
we're at parties and stuff. I don't keep my eyes off of my nieces. Like, I make sure they're where I can see them at
you
all
said
times.
nieces?
Nieces.
Niece. Nicest?
Nicest.
Neat.
Niece.
Needs.
Niece, Corey. It's already
Nieces.
It's already plural.
Need.
Sure?
I have 1 niece. I have 3 nieces.
Nieces.
No, you have
No
3 nieces.
nieces.
Niece.
You have 3 nieces.
Everyone knows it's
No.
knee side.
Everybody
People.
knows, yeah.
Are they new?
New?
Stop.
What? What'd she say?
I know.
Did you say
She-
you or you?
But she enjoyed it.
Oh, I see.
It's kind of fucked up.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, okay.
Alright.
Whatever. All right.
Anyways.
I hope you got it.
Watch your kids, people. Watch your kids.
For real.
Just watch your kids.
And let's
And do your taxes if we're just
And
giving out
having a
general, like,
babysitter
additions,
does not
like-
count as watching your
That's not
kids.
advice, right?
Babysitter's
It's
rape.
advice, right?
Alright, let's
It's good
not
advice.
follow each other.
Corey. We can get into a whole situation because family members rape too.
Those are babysitters.
Shit.
But parents have
Aren't they
done shit
more?
to their
Aren't they
kids,
more
too.
like? Isn't it more likely for it to be someone
Look
like
at
a
fucking
family member or
Casey
someone
Anthony
close?
killed her daughter.
Or was it the grandfather?
Either way, no, it was definitely Casey.
What happened to Jean-Benet Ramsey?
Yeah, I don't
Nobody knows.
know. I don't know.
Her
They-
mama knows.
I find it
Does
weird.
she?
That
Her
shit's
mama
crazy.
knows.
It don't
She
make
wrote the note.
It don't make you uncomfortable that
It's
they call
odd.
her America's baby or America's daughter or some
That
shit.
was-
It does.
That's
It makes me
American,
uncomfortable.
Don't get.
I like couldn't it
I
be,
ain't got no
not be
connection to that
someone
baby.
like
She's
murdered?
She's
bro?
our age.
Don't connect that baby to me.
It's
No,
weird.
I'm just
It's
saying.
Weird. It is because like
No, like I'm just saying, like
How old was she then?
No,
that baby was like 4.
Casey Anthony's
No,
kid
no,
or
No,
John
no,
Benet?
John Benet was
Yeah.
like, no, 7.
She's
John
like
Benet
7
was
or something. Yeah.
She was 6 when she died.
My birthday was the next month.
But 1996, so she would have been. Oh wait, no wait. She was born 1990, so she would. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I ain't doing it. The fuck?
We know you ain't doing this.
Y'all terrible. I can't believe y'all said that. Okay, let's go to something that's a little lighter because
None of them are really.
Can somebody tell me what this
energy,
third one from the bottom is?
energy
Energies
inside.
us?
Yeah, what's that?
Masculinity versus femininity.
What femininity? Yeah. what
Okay, so did all right. Do you
So,
want to talk about
anyone-
it?
about- I know
Anyone?
what it is, but go
No.
ahead.
So did you guys see how?
Where'd you see this?
Alicia Keys posted on her Instagram.
Okay,
No.
I feel like I know what
Just
you're
tell
talking
the
about.
story to the people.
Okay, I'm gonna. So
Person, whoever.
basically, her son wanted to paint his nails rainbow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yo, that's gay as
She
fuck,
said,
not them.
she said, go ahead. That's awesome. And he was like, no, boys don't do that. Whatever. So
Live
she
your life, little homie.
she
What?
went
What?
on and she was saying how it's different. You know, we
Corey
each
paints
have
his toes all
we
the time.
each
All
have
the time.
masculinity and femininity in us.
Mhm.
So why is it okay for a girl to act like a tomboy sometimes? And if a man wants to paint his nails or do a facial or get a massage, is gay.
If he thugs
Or
out here,
he's
what
not
up?
a man. We all have some level of femininity.
It's very simple.
This bitch can't talk.
It's like an enemy.
Yo.
Another enemy.
Femininity.
Another enemy.
Femininity.
Yeah,
Anyways.
Just concentrating on the word.
Stretching. I'm stretching.
As she was saying it, her
I'm
toes
sore.
Femininity.
Anyways.
Good.
So that's kind of the topic. Is like,
okay.
why is it okay for girls to be like, oh, look, I can wear sweatpants?
Because society. And
you
society
know,
sucks.
You remember Baby Boy? When he thought he got shot? And he couldn't cry? He would have been a bitch.
Yeah.
See? It's the same thing.
That's the same thing. Hold on. I've heard you do it.
Oh, God.
A little kid falls.
Yeah.
You told him, get up and brush it off. You're okay.
Yeah.
A girl fell, and you brushed her off.
Yeah, because I got to help my queens. I didn't be like, grow a pair of nuts.
Brianna, you're doing, but you're buying into the because he's a boy.
Wait, who?
I'll tell you later. Because he's a boy.
Because
he's a boy.
Uh-huh.
You told him to brush it off and go play. So you let him handle it by himself.
Wait, was the girl my daughter though?
No.
Because that's different.
No, obviously he's a kid. Like no, but yeah. So you yourself have done it. It might not have been on purpose or like without not the intent of.
He said, I like to feel pretty and pamper myself with facials and manis all the time.
See?
Bro, I never did this. I never did that. I gotta go.
He hasn't, and I've been trying.
I gotta go try.
Almost 10 years.
Wait,
My feet.
Wait, you trying to get?
I got my feet. I got my feet.
No.
done.
You ever got your eyebrows done?
No, I did. No.
I didn't go
James?
get that massage.
What?
You ever got your eyebrows done?
I didn't get my
Oh,
feet done.
yeah.
I thought I got my feet done.
That's not a
For real?
pedicure, though.
Oh, no, I never did that shit.
He did the foot.
You never seen the
You know the
You
flexology
you
thing?
wax? Sorry, guys.
She's talking about me,
The
so everybody listen.
flexology thing? Your foot flexology?
It's
They
like
to loosen
massage
up
the
your
pinpoints
muscles?
and, the pressure points.
Nah,
That's
yo.
what he did, but he won't go get a pedicure. It's the same shit.
Look, I hate feet, so I don't
Nah,
give
yeah,
a
I
fuck.
just-
Oh,
Stay
James,
miserable. Stay
we should
miserable.
go.
I hope.
Oh my
Nope.
God, you should.
I'm gonna
bring
tell
me
Katie
to
because
go.
if Katie tells you, you'll go real
Listen,
quick.
Oh shit, yeah.
Damn.
Oh, cheers, yo, cheers to drinking.
Wait, I gotta sit up. I'm hurt.
Listen, fuck your feet.
Yo,
There's
hold
nothing
up.
you can do to make them look nice.
I'm sorry. Do you have a shot in your hand?
That's why you stub your toes.
Do you?
It's the universe way of saying you got.
Do you have a
That's
shot
why
in
they
your
made
hand?
Legos, because fuck your feet.
Yeah, fuck your feet. That's right.
Do you have a shot in your hand?
No.
So then shut the fuck up.
Also, this
I'm gonna.
this is sideways.
What do you mean?
My boobs keep getting in the way.
What's sideways?
You guys are.
So we need to
So
move
should
this
we-
down this way or move
So we
that
should,
down?
no, we should turn like this.
Because the camera's way close.
You're absolutely right. Okay. Cheers to James and his bitch ass not drinking tonight. Woo!
I'll be a bitch. People still like me though. What up?
It's good, right?
Well,
Mm-hmm.
it is. All right, so
Woo!
I could talk about this because
Yeah,
I'm
let's
pretty
dive in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure my brothers know that when I was growing up,
Hold
I
on,
did a lot
hold
of feminine shit. right?
Oh, I thought you about to come up with some
Like,
shit. I ain't know nothing.
I did a lot of feminine shit. Like
Elaborate.
What'd you do?
I
You sure we know what the fuck?
like I mean like
Don't be throwing that at me. What up?
I wouldn't even consider. I probably wouldn't consider feminine. You know, like I did a lot of like
Can't take it back now.
poetry shit. You know,
It's
what
not
I mean?
feminine,
I-
bro.
what
That's-
people?
That's
what-
art.
That's
What
gangster
people-
as fuck.
No, what people? I'm sorry. What people consider like my emotion, like
That's
like,
not. No,
like,
no, no.
Then we consider that.
Okay.
That's the same shit. Like he's just
No,
he's
feminine.
showing emotion through painting his nails.
I get what that Corey's saying.
Yeah, I
that
see
was
what
that
I'm
was the
saying.
thing. That is the thing.
That, like,
No. Time
so-
out. Hold on. It's always been a certain way where if you're doing it through art, it was acceptable.
Yeah.
If you were doing it through like expression of like painting your fingernails, straightening your hair and shit like that, that's where we was like, that's kind of
That's not
questionable.
true, and I can prove
Because
it.
I'll tell you this right now.
Tight jeans.
What's a rap?
A rap?
It's a poem.
Oh.
Spoken word poem. It's just,
I
it's
thought,
said
you
a
were,
certain
I thought
way.
you were talking about a hair
But
wrap.
here's my retort to this.
Wait, hold on.
Oh,
Ready?
What is it?
I thought he was going to say he sleeps with
That's what I mean too. That's why I was like,
Nah,
Okay,
not
time
anymore.
out. Time out.
Nah, it was the 80s. Everybody was sucking dick.
No.
Like,
that whole art thing is bullshit because guys don't dance.
That's what
that was
what
a
I'm
thing
saying.
people used to
That's
say.
what I'm
Yo,
saying.
that's not a lie.
Yo.
Like that's what they used to say. Like
I
Yo,
love
Tupac
I'll
doing
sleep
poetry.
both of you
Yo,
niggas, I'll sleep both of you right now.
Tupac doing ballet was one of the first things people were like, oh, that's gay. He's gay for that.
they used to call people fairies for dancing.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yo, don't look at you. Don't be insecure because you dance.
Men don't show their feelings. Guys don't cry. Like those are all the things that you.
Yo, listen. Listen here. No. Stop, cause listen, I dance and my dance will help me steal your bitch.
Yes.
Don't come at me.
Listen, we know it's wrong, but this is
That's what I'm saying.
This is
Yo,
literally
I'll
what we're
write a
talking
shit to
about,
your
right?
girl real quick.
No, I'll write a shit to your girl.
Listen. I'll
Go
write a
ahead.
shit.
All right,
to
no,
your
but
girl.
seriously, go ahead. Elaborate on what you're talking about because I do want to really dive into this one.
So
it's a good
conversation.
conversation.
All right, I'll elaborate further. So I would write shit, right? And if it wasn't about like
we really got to get Chris on here.
I had a sonnet.
Black dudes always bring up Tupac.
Yo, shut up! You brought up Ice Cube the other day on your Facebook,
He's
and they didn't even know who you was talking about.
He's black.
More than white people bring up Elvis.
I thought he was gonna say Vanilla
I
Ice.
thought he was saying Eminem.
That's Eminem's black.
So
Okay,
the first thing,
he's like honorary black. It's different.
the first thing that everybody went to was the sonnet that I wrote, and it was about, I don't know if you guys know what a sonnet is.
I do. Corey, I was there when he was like, "Don't clap, snap."
All right, so
Go ahead.
everybody wanted to go to the sonnet that was like thugged out, I guess you would say, because it was talking about how one guy betrayed his friend, and because he was a detective or whatever, and the dude got shot at the end of it, or whatever. But like everybody liked that sonnet the way that it was structured. But when it came to like writing about emotion and how I feel, everybody be like, "Yo, why you always writing that gay shit?" Took people almost.
Give me like 2 more hours. Okay. Go get a snack.
So,
She has ice cream.
can you tell time?
Yeah.
Corey, don't tell her that. All right, go ahead. Go watch your show.
Say yeah.
No, Mama.
In a second.
He's
yes.
in the middle of giving his feelings.
No,
Go ahead.
he's
Close the door.
So
He's
yeah.
in
So
touch
like
with his
anytime
femininity right
it
now.
was anytime it was emotional, you know, like it'd be like, oh, you know, that's feminine. That's feminine gay shit. You know, like that's what they would say. So I mean, it never stopped me from doing what I wanted because I never ever really cared about what people thought about me or
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right. You did.
We'll move down the line.
I thought you was about to go to the left with this
no,
shit,
that's
bro.
your job.
We'll go to the left with stuff.
To the left. To
We're
the
just
left.
talking. I didn't know about the dancing thing because like I was a dancer at a point. I didn't do
Yeah,
ballet, but if
our
I
family
tried
was
some
different.
moves, no.
Our family's kind of different.
You gotta remember though,
So,
we had the dance group and stuff.
Yeah.
Right,
So-
no, but what I'm saying is like our family was kind of different with that. Like our dad was like, as long as you guys aren't like
Humping men.
in the street, you know what I mean? Like, yo, do whatever. It's like as long as you guys aren't
Humping
doing anything
dudes.
stupid.
But we come from a family of
He said people accusing you of being gay for writing are insecure about all the dicks they suck in private.
That's
Sir,
true.
Real
that's true.
shit.
Yes, sir.
It's true because
Yes, sir.
all you were doing, in all honesty, is just expressing yourself. Now, I always say this. I wish we were born like us all. Like, do you ever feel like at certain times, like the newer generation is more acceptable to what your mindset was at that time in your life?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
like it's
funny
like
you say that.
why
because
couldn't I have-
feel like I'm sorry, but I feel like if we was born in like the Renaissance area,
era.
whatever,
Carry on.
it would be more acceptable. Everything was
What did he say?
everything,
Bro, it was breakdancing.
like everything was more acceptable in that time.
Okay.
Watch
You
it.
know, even being gay was acceptable at that time.
No, it wasn't.
Yo, we was crumping for Christ. Crumping, not humping.
We was
Go ahead.
perfect for Christ.
Oh, you done? Jesus. Yeah, no, but I really feel like
I used to do that too,
in our society,
but I used to dance with God.
it was
God.
it was an interpretive
Spell
dance.
God. G-A-H-D. God.
G-A-W-D.
Oh,
God. No, but seriously, with the masculine part of it all, I think, and I don't want to say just the black community, but for sure, I can only speak through because like it's what I've lived. Is
Wait, you're black?
I'll talk to you off air. But no, seriously,
I don't like labels. I don't like to labels on things.
It's just tough where it's like, yeah, let me see.
What is it? Is she tricking us?
Let me see. All right.
Ah!
Sit it.
Kaylee, back up.
Hand it to her far. Oh, she definitely was on air, bro.
Yep.
Well, that was Kaylee. No. All right.
What do you say?
All right, get out. Close the door. Close the door and don't ever return to this room. Get from here.
I'll allow you to speak for the whites. 30-minute pass. Go.
Okay, here we go. But overall, I feel like when it comes to the men in whatever race we're talking or ethnic group, we expect them to carry the weight or the load of whatever is going on as a whole.
And not complain.
You can't complain about it.
Exactly. No complaints. You have to fit a certain mold and things like that. Where
Lord forbid you ask for help.
I always say, like, our thought process was never that streamlined thought process. We always had different things that we did, like you did poetry. Where in the time, like, a lot of people, especially at the time in high school, a lot of people were creatives.
Right.
So on our end, in our school, it wasn't seen as gay. You had the dudes that always try to miss the funny tough guy and shit.
Right. That's
what
what I'm saying.
For the most part, you had everybody was like, "Yo, that was dope. Good, good stuff."
Right.
Same thing with the dance group, which isn't gay, Chris. So fuck you for that.
He did wear tights though, Chris. If you want to know,
bro. Whatever. Sometimes you gotta
tutu.
put that leotard on. Whatever. Anyways, through dance and whatnot, I started to see more people who were on the like tougher side or hood side of things showed interest.
Definitely.
And now they were like, "Oh, how'd you do this move or whatever?" And I'm like, "Bro, come in, I could show you." And things like that. So it was like even the people who portray the tough guy also have some sort of an interest or whatever in certain things.
Interesting question, because this is a good one.
Go ahead.
I think. What do you think made people loosen up on their view of dance around that time?
At that time, America's Best Dance Crew was big. And a lot of people just like really on that putting their city on the map vibe. I feel like that was huge. For me, if you were to ask me like why I think it was acceptable, I still don't think personally I didn't think it was unacceptable. I remember certain other cities groups wanting to battle the group that we made. I remember people who I didn't know at certain like school events or whatever was like, "Oh, you with the Riot Boys" and things like that, and I'm like, "How the fuck do you know about us?" You know what I mean? Little did I know we have friends who, that we knew were in other cities or whatever at whatever party dancing and saying that that's the crew they dance for. Right. You know what I mean? So and it was cool because it was like all different type of people, Indian people, Asians coming at me like, "Oh, you break dance or you dance?" And I'm like, I do a little something. And they were like, I want to battle or dance with you.
We met some of our friends still to this day dancing.
So I think dance crew had a part of it, but
are you talking about like a different type of dance though? You talking like ballet and shit?
No. I'm saying dancing at one point was looked at as feminine.
Oh yeah.
But then a documentary came out. Do you remember that Trumping documentary?
Remember Crump?
Yeah. That was
I think that was the start where people were like, "Oh, you don't have, because they were just battling." It was dance became as tough.
Yes, Chris, and my name was B-Boy D-Rock.
I think through that video.
Wait, is it
Definitely a hetero dance group.
Through that documentary, and I saw the documentary through Derek.
Which one? Crump?
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Dancing became as aggressive and as tough as rap battles.
But that's different though, because we're talking about a specific type of dance. We're talking Crump, where Crump, even though it's a religious aspect, because it's like Kingdom Uprising, right. Whatever. But with Crump, it's different because like they say it's that like the emotional release,
right?
Where it's like through dance, it's emotional expression.
I think it.
So Crump itself was. I think Crump was an anomaly. Whatever, because tie dyes and Lil C's came up with it together,
right?
And through that, they did it through church, but they were doing it because where they grew up, the death toll and death rate was so fucking high. Mm-hmm. So they were like, let's just do this, and then they just started just the two of them, and that's why they call them the Kings of Crump. And they started to trickle down into their brothers, and then their brothers' friends, and then it just went through everybody. And then it got to a point where it got so big that they were like, we can go up against a guy who was big citywide. His name was Tommy the Clown, and that's when you had Crumpin' and Clownin' battling against each other. Where Clownin' was somewhat of the similar thing, but it was more finesse and flow. Where Crump was raw, hard energy, and Crump doesn't have thrusting. There's no hip thrust, like no pelvic thrusting. Where clowning, you'd see that. Now, I don't know if you know this, but like
probably not.
To hump a bitch, you gotta hump her.
You gotta thrust.
You gotta thrust there.
Throw with it.
I thought you talking about dancing. You talking about?
I'm just saying, like you don't hip thrust and crump, and that was part of the religious aspect. You don't do it because you don't disrespect religion.
Yeah.
You guys know me. I'm not a religious person, but I did vibe with the release or the expression of releasing anger or whatever through your dance.
Basically, he's saying he was cock thrusting all over the place.
No, I wasn't thrusting because if I was crumping, you could tell the difference between me crumping and clowning.
He might have done it
when I was clowning, it was more on the joking, looser side. Yeah. But when I'm crumping, it was all hard edges and hard hits and big jumps. You know what I mean? So there was a difference in that. But like, I would love to sit there and talk to you for a little while about your creative process when you were writing your sonnets and your stories in general. Overall, like what was your process? Because I know for me, when I was dancing, I had like mental undertones that just kind of took over in a sense. Not like I was an autopilot, but it was just like, this is my time.
Right.
Like, for me to be me.
Right.
You know? And like with same thing, like I'm sure with your drawings, like through your drawings, like this time, like your hideous smiles, perfect example. I never seen anything like those, ever. So.
Remember the thing that reminded me of them yesterday?
What was it?
Demon Slayer.
Oh yeah, the demons.
It was cool.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the hideous smiles. He's been doing that for how many years now?
Yeah, a little while. Cool. Corey looks bewildered. What the fuck is a sonnet?
So it's structured.
Google that shit.
Oh, Google it.
A B.
So it's a structured poem or written format, which is like A B B A B B some shit. It's crazy.
A B C D C D
B B.
A sonnet. It has 14 lines.
They have to rhyme at the end.
Each line has 10 syllables and has a specific rhyme scheme.
It's A B.
No,
it could be anything.
Oh yeah, then it could be.
So if your pattern is A B A B, you keep going.
Yeah.
If your pattern is A B C, then you go A B C A B C A B C.
Oh, what an ass! He knew the whole time. He said, "I know what it is." Thanks, brother.
I don't think he did.
Hey, he told you he knew.
He didn't.
You're asking for a reason.
What do you think?
I'm asking for a friend.
For fuck's sake?
Asking for
is that FFS for fuck's sake? Am I good with the
I'm
white
not
lingo?
with that lingo. But yeah, it's the same thing. Like, so with the masculinity and femininity.
Stupid.
Stupid.
We have to realize there is both masculinity and femininity in us. Mm-hmm. I personally myself didn't experience the nurturing part until I had Kaylee or seen Kaylee. You know what I mean? I never once, like when someone got hurt, I'd laugh at the motherfucker.
You think you're more in touch with your masculine side?
100%. I'm bad with it. I'm toxic. Like I know I am. I know I'm toxic masculine.
Do you feel like you're more in touch with your toxic side, masculine side, or your feminine side?
I think those are both bullshit. It's how the fuck how do you divide a person like that? You know
That's a masculine.
No.
No.
I get what you're saying, but he's asking me a question.
Wait, what did he ask you?
Which one do I lead to the most?
The question should have more so been, do you know you have both? Like, do you know you're in tune with both?
No, but I think that those labels are fraudulent because what's wrong with the person going? What makes it feminine for me to let someone I care about know that I'm there for them?
Yeah, no.
But you can't express that because you're soft.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, that's the same thing. That's the same thing. Like, that's a light, but because that's what we called it.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
So that's all. For this argument, we're only gonna say feminine because that's what we're calling it right now.
Right.
I don't mean it any way.
Okay, so to sum up what I'm saying.
Okay.
No one else is allowed to determine what makes me masculine.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Like you see what I'm saying?
I'm asking.
So no matter what I do, no matter what energy I give off, that's the energy of a man to me. It doesn't matter.
I see what you're saying.
No matter what I show.
Do you have? When they say that, because everybody, I forgot what Charlemagne the God calls it, but it's like everybody has like the something masculine and something else feminine.
Right. And Anima and Animus. Those are the original names. Anima was the female aspect of a person, and Animus was the male.
So do you feel? Are you in tune with both?
I feel like that.
I'm not saying like what you project.
Okay,
I'm saying in yourself. Like, when you break stuff down, do you feel like you can approach it with?
Yeah, you ever say like this is my feminine, this is my masculine, or
that's not it.
That's not the thing.
It's
That's not the thing. It's more like nurturing, and then because like so the feminine part is more speaking on like the nurturing and taking care of and being honest with your feelings. Yeah. Where the masculine part would be your. I mean, aggression is a feeling, but it's more like
with my mindset.
Yeah.
As a man, I can only act as a man. No matter how you portray it.
No, you're right.
No matter how you give off whatever you.
I'm agreeing with you.
He said no. What I'm saying is, there's no female energy that can come from you because you're a man. That's how you define yourself as a man.
You sound feminine.
I don't know, James. What if you do something that reminds you of your mother?
Oh, that's gay as fuck.
No, she had an aspect of energy or like.
Oh, so you're saying mom's masculine?
Not energy, but she had a.
Hell yeah,
she only get the mustache sometimes.
All that means is she had a trait or something that I felt would help me be a better person.
I was just saying she got hands.
She do got hands.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, she got hands like a dude, bro.
Like, you mean to tell me, like, Brianna sometimes acts like a man? No, she's a woman.
She's sitting. She's like, yo, what?
No, she's a woman.
All she didn't say was mine and have
I'm
a cigar.
just a comfortable woman.
She's a woman. Yeah, exactly. That's it.
All you hear, hold on. All you hear is Brianna sitting over there. Yeah, NASCAR. Yeah.
I don't like it. I used to like NASCAR.
Because the moment you do, like, you're defining.
That was the white shit.
You're defining what your definition.
You watch golf too, huh?
No.
You know what I'm saying? The moment you say, "Oh, she's acting like a man," now you're defining what makes a woman.
Okay.
That's bullshit.
I don't know what the fuck we just went off to.
I get it though.
I get him. I'm just kind of lost on the sense.
So then, hold on. How come? I want to see this. How come?
What do you want to say?
There's this big
ass foot. Oh, went away.
I don't have big feet. First off.
What's the
anyway,
thing? What's the thing?
It's about balance, as James said. Anima and animus. Animus.
Yeah.
Animus. Yeah.
Male, female, good, evil, logic, instinct.
100%. Hold on. Logic and instinct.
Yes.
Those are also attributed to anima and animus.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I get that. But
girls are more instinctive.
So would you throw?
No.
No.
Logical.
Everybody has both. What are you talking about?
You are either logical or instinctive. That's it.
Time out. No, but sometimes.
But I
you personally,
you can.
I'd be like, nah.
You're gonna tell me there haven't been times you made your decision based off of emotion?
That's all the time.
That's what I'm saying. That's
feminine.
That's instinct.
Exactly.
That's a male thing.
Nope.
No. That's a male thing. It's feminine.
No, it's both. What are you talking about,
bro? Because listen, women be like,
we plot out our shit.
Women be like, yo,
I can't see.
No.
Women be like, baby,
what's wrong with golf? Not assigned by gender.
Women be like, baby, don't put that fork in the.
I ain't saying nothing wrong
right?
about golf.
That's logical.
I just don't watch that shit.
But
men learn by putting the fork in there.
No.
All right.
That's bullshit.
Okay.
Because you mean a child tell me that you don't have to worry about Kaylee taking a fork and putting it in something?
All right, here we go.
They do.
Time out. Here's instinct. Here's instinct. Instinct is preservation of life.
Yes.
That's instinct.
Yes.
You do not want to see someone die.
So Corey doesn't have the instinct.
No, he does.
To put a fork in the thing.
He did it 3 times. What you talking about?
I did like 7 times.
This motherfucker's hand was.
I caused a blackout.
This.
lights were
Yo, chill the fuck out. Yo. I was with him when he did it. This motherfucker's hand was charred
for like 2 days.
It was charred like he put his hand in charcoal. It was fucking hilarious.
He did it twice, like in a week.
Emotions are very intellectual. That's it.
Instinctual.
Oh yeah.
You can't control them.
That's instinct, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Your emotions.
The question that I had, we can save for next week because I think it's a whole nother conversation.
Go ahead. Well, what's the question? Just throw it out there.
How come?
7.
No.
Okay.
How come?
3.
There's this. I don't know. All right. How come it's this thing that women don't poop and women don't fart?
Y'all did that.
Y'all made that rule.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Y'all did that shit.
And we only
that's not
eat
true.
salads in front
That
of
is
the
not true. They be on
guys.
the commercials talking about I'm bloated.
Wait,
I'm on my period. That's y'all's commercials.
Yeah, no, time out.
Commercials be like,
Logic,
Manscaped.
instinct, to me, like the way I try and throw it to people most of the time is like when you say instinct is when you just react. Right?
Yeah.
Logic is when you take the second to think it out. Like, what is my best move here? But sometimes you cannot beat your instinct with your logic in the moment.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But you can catch it.
I want to go back to
Sometimes you can catch it, but most of the time your instinct is
to react.
Bro, the first thing in what makes us who we are is fight or flight.
Yes.
100%. We cannot beat that.
Right.
And I feel for men, it's a
Fight.
protective.
It's always fight.
But it's a protective thing.
Look at me.
Right?
I don't
Me
think
and
you got
James.
free.
But it's a protective thing.
Yeah.
Me and James, we was driving here. We saw a chimney.
It's not
The first thing we
gross.
did.
What's gross? That is gross.
It's not gross.
It is.
If I fart or if I need to poop, I gotta fart.
That's
Gotta poop. I gotta
bullshit. 'Cause
walk.
how long before when you
Yeah, but they-
started dating?
they
did
also
you
made
wait
that
to
rule.
fart in front of him?
Immediately.
Excuse me?
Never did I wait.
You're full of shit.
Derek Charles, never.
Literally.
I farted on your lap.
What?
Why am I just hearing about this?
Unbeknownst to me, apparently.
Can you get mad? You okay? Can you get mad?
I can't get mad now. I can't get mad now.
What?
I can't get mad about something else, though, and we will talk about that off air.
What?
We will talk about
So,
it real
guys,
quick.
Shit, that was
What?
great.
What?
Government?
Yep.
Jeez.
What's the
That's
next-
an instinct.
It's not a fucking instinct. What's next? What did he say?
It was logical.
Said when we harness both at full potential, we are gods. Gross, not literally. She poops.
When we what? When we
harness both.
harness both. Oh yeah, for
Yes,
sure,
definitely.
for sure. And that-
Definitely.
for me, you gotta real like I feel like the whole 7 sins and all that shit. I feel like I like honestly believe in whatever one that you most that you like hold dear to yourself. Like everybody holds something like that dear. Like I don't give a fuck what you say. Either it's your like even like gluttony doesn't have to be food related.
No,
Like
no.
gluttony can be that you're just like so into a
Because
certain
you just
thing
want money.
and can't stop doing it.
Right. You just want
That's
money.
greed.
That's addiction.
That's greed.
They're all connected.
Isn't
Hey,
that
it's all within the same.
addiction?
That's gluttony too,
Yeah.
and it's also greed, but it's also it could be avarice. So it's like
I think greed is more so when you're jealous of somebody
what's the
having
word for
it
that?
better
Yeah,
than
pride.
TV.
pride.
Pride.
Yeah, I got all locked. I was like, oh.
Yeah, they all definitely connect. I
Yeah.
see that.
So
They say pride is the father of all sins.
yeah, buddy,
Mm.
with the pride to rival the gods.
Yeah, but pride.
But
pride
here's the
can
thing.
also kill you.
But
so
the gods are all
let's be
dead,
careful.
Derek.
With the pride that could rival the gods. I didn't say that made me a god. I could rival them. But no, in all honesty, I feel like if you're a confident person and believe in self,
Right.
at some point you are going to cross a sin, and you're going to cross it heavy.
Yeah, of course.
Because to have unfaltering belief in yourself, which I feel like everybody should get to that point. If it got to be you surrounding yourself with the right people that get you there, if it got to be that you got to go work and get the money for you to buy the shit that you want. I don't care if it's materialistic or whatever. Love yourself and be your best self to yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
just at a point
Like
in my
I think
life-
I think with the Bible and things that say like you should never compare yourself to a god or to God or whatever
Right.
it is. I feel like that right there itself is detrimental to the word I
Yeah,
want?
it's in your way.
It's minimizing you.
But the thing is,
It's keeping you in check.
Yeah.
And in a sense,
Yeah.
and I don't mean that in a wrong way. Like we should always be grounded to earth, or being a good person. But you should have the 100% confidence in yourself.
Yeah. He said religion is a set of stories and guidelines to help ancient people describe these concepts.
Yeah,
Only
it's
thing I
a
think religion
magazine.
is good for is
I mean,
morals.
I'm just tired of like
I'm
people
okay.
defining shit. for
I'm
you.
okay with religion if it works for somebody.
Like,
if that makes you happy, makes you feel like a better person, I'm all for it. For me, religion, it's fun. Like it's one of those things that I just want to like. I like to listen, and learn about the stories and things that are told.
But
in
there's
it.
stories.
But let's be real. A lot of those
What you
stories,
can learn
a
is-
lot of those stories are based off moral values that you
Yeah, I mean,
could
you
have
can
or
learn
should have.
You can
Yeah.
learn morals from any.
But no, you
from
can
other
learn it from
stories.
anything. I'm
But
just
that's
saying.
like- yeah,
They
yeah.
were like, all right, let's find out like how you wrote your poetry and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Like you got that guy who made Scientology. He made that's a fucking science fiction book. Like let's be real.
You knew the guy lived and then you worship what he
wrote
wrote.
exactly. So that's like the
You know
same
what I
thing.
mean? In your lifetime,
Wasn't
you
it
lived.
something Herbert?
Nah, I forget his name. but-
Elron, something like that.
Oh,
L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah, I think that's it too.
But it's the
It
same.
sounds,
It's
at least
the
it
same
sounds
thing.
like it
I think
sounds
it's
like.
L. Ron. Wow, the
Watch the
knockout?
episode of South Park.
That shit was crazy, right?
I watched the
But that's what I'm
episode-
saying. For him to hit that punch like that, he's confident as fuck.
South Park explained it. All of Scientology.
Yo, why are you pointing how he's pointing? He's confident.
Go
as fuck.
show them. Go back. Watch the way he's in the standing. He don't give a fuck. He's like, I know what I can do.
It's like right in the moment.
Weirdo.
It's right.
He said pride as such is different from confidence and self-actualization. Yep. You must then be in charge of your own morality. If you are not religious, and he said L. Ron Hubbard.
L. Ron, okay. Yeah. So yeah, no. With when I was talking pride, like for myself, I know that I hold the pride in my ability and the pride of what I am and who I am to certain people in my life. Like that's what I hold pride in. But yeah, you're right too in a sense where it's like there are multiple things or different ways to have pride. When I say pride in oneself, though, I'm not just speaking on what you could do. I'm speaking on like knowing, like almost in the sense of ego.
Ego is like the more negative. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing, though. Like, it's only why is it negative? Where?
Well, no. I'm saying like ego in the sense of it getting in the way.
Sometimes it can.
Sometimes ego
just like your anger can sometimes get in the way.
Absolutely. But I'm at a point now where in my life I'm just tired of people letting people define it for me. You know what I mean? Like you said, why does it have to be bad?
Ability not on the ball court.
Oh, thanks, man. But Last time I checked, though, I was mopping you on the day.
That's what I was talking about the other day.
You saw the jumper.
Like, why do I have to necessarily turn the other cheek?
Or
no, fuck you. You gotta die now. Or sometimes that's a necessity. Yeah, sometimes I have to take you out.
Don't they say an eye for an eye too?
Well, like, and that comes from your gods. That comes from the Bible.
I mean, hey,
he said gods.
Like in ego, like yes. You have to be ready.
We keep saying ego. Well, no, and I think of that Beyonce song.
Because ego is the way I don't think pride is the proper word. That's why I say ego.
And because and what you're talking about, or
right,
what I was talking about?
Right, because pride isn't necessarily negative. You know what I mean? What's wrong with knowing what you can do?
But is ego negative?
Because ego can stop you from asking for help. Ego can stop you from going out of your way to help somebody else.
Okay, I can see that.
That's true.
Because you don't want. Because you don't. Who am I? Like, why do they deserve?
That's like Superman under the red sun.
You know what I'm saying?
Like that. You know how when he was evil.
Yeah.
Not evil, but he was just like. Y'all seen Brightburn?
It's almost like he smoked weed.
So good.
It's a superhero horror movie.
Ego is
Well, Brightburn is a perfect example where he's like he was nurtured and raised by human. But then he better than everybody. And he realized like, yo, I have better and more abilities than most. Right. And 100%, I agree with it. Just like if I go apply for a job and you apply for a job and you are better equipped for that job, you should get it. And you should know that you deserve it.
Word.
Right,
because you know your ability's better.
But ego would be like, oh, what the fuck does he have that makes him better than me?
Exactly.
Even if he's better than you,
that's okay.
You see what I'm saying?
That's okay too, because that's your driving force.
Wait a minute. Can your ego?
Because you don't see that's pride you're talking about. Because you want to get better. It's a driving force.
Hold on a second.
Ego.
Oh, you talking? The person. Ego is almost like.
Why do you?
What's that called? When you have
What about meism?
No. When you feel like entitlement.
Yeah, oh yes.
Gotcha.
Ego leads into entitlement.
I got pissed.
That sense of being owed.
Keep going. Yeah. It's a good conversation.
I have one thing about ego because ego can also pull you back. So like okay, yeah, you deserve. Alright, so if my ego says, yo, why did he get the job and I didn't? Right. Mm-hmm. My ego is also what tells me, well, he does this better than you. He does that better than you.
No. Because ego itself is negative. It doesn't give you that clear thought. You feel you were owed that job. Nobody, because that's ego. I'm better than him already. There's no way he has any trait in him that makes him worthy of that job. You're better than them.
Makes sense.
It doesn't like that's why when it's the 7 sins, we're talking about negative. It's not good for you. But my question is, why? Because someone told you that.
Because those 7 sins could be positive.
No, I'm just trying to.
You're right.
They can be positive if you have those 7 virtues.
Right. Well, yeah.
Some people don't have them balanced. Someone said balance them, and if you don't have them balanced, that's when the ego gets in the way. Because if you don't have modesty to check your ego. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Then it'll be out of control. You get what I mean?
I can see
like,
it.
like the opposite of wrath is forgiveness. And like, yeah, maybe they do deserve to die, but do you want to carry that weight of hate that whole time, knowing you might not see them again? You know what I'm saying? So now you don't have to forgive the person, but you can forgive the anger that you have. You can let that go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can forgive yourself for that moment of being weak. You don't have to let the person go. This forgiveness is multiple ways.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to have the 7 virtues to check the 7 sins. Because if you don't, then yourself is out of balance and out of whack. I don't like using the terms masculinity and femininity because those are defining what makes a man and a woman, and you can't tell a man what makes them a man. Because the moment you start telling me how to be a man, I'm your definition of a man. I'll never fulfill myself. You see what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
And which is why I say there's no such thing as masculinity and femininity, because masculinity is man.
Oh my God, he put a heart.
He did put a heart.
Oh my God,
that's
he put
bullshit.
a heart.
Uncle Chris, I gotta go. Heart.
That was kind of gay. See ya. So where you guys at with the?
Just
carry on.
Yeah, I was just talking about how to balance your sins.
Yeah, you gotta go have sex. Yeah. So
Oh shit. Oh shit's the answer.
You wanna go off my Pokemon a little bit?
You want that fine, James?
Or should
I'll take the chance.
Hold on.
We gotta tell January.
Or should we wait for another episode?
No, let's close it off with something fun.
Are we done here? Keep going. Because we still want to talk about the top on there, and then the Jones fight too. That's gonna be a good one. So let's. I kind of want to I feel like I want to dive into Pokemon and its own little segment, its own thing.
I think it'd be a good little way to close out, because how longer do you think we're gonna actually talk about Pokemon?
All right, so let's go off the last. Let's do the last 2, and then we'll just talk about what we think about it.
Okay.
No, 2. Yeah, thank you.
So
Okay.
I'm guessing 2 of these I'm gonna just
Shut the
be
fuck up.
very
How about that?
quiet.
Say it again?
Tell him.
You talking about the fight?
The 2 at the bottom I'm talking about, they're real
fights,
quick,
right?
really, yeah. So, John Jones has...
Black guy, right?
Are you serious, man?
I don't know.
He doesn't know if he's serious.
He's come and watched many of his fights.
I'm pretty sure that's the guy.
He's the black guy, yeah.
Black guy.
No.
I mean, you've watched many of his fights.
I want to make sure the image in my head is the right one.
He can look like you.
Okay,
cut his
okay,
hair.
all right.
Yeah, okay, that's the guy I'm talking about.
So John Jones has a fight now scheduled in February.
His legs have a shotgun in them.
Right here.
Like,
No, he has small fucking calves and shit. What are you
This
talking
is
about?
him.
That's him, James.
They always talk about how small his calves are, but he fucking slices through my
nope,
fucking
not
shit.
him. That's not
This guy.
No, you're talking about Israel Adesanya?
Adesanya?
I'm talking about the guy who kicked the dude.
Yeah,
Him.
Yeah, it's the last Stylebender. That's what they
The
call
one that be doing the cartoonish? I mean, the
Cartoon.
anime shit?
He fucking does the
Anime
cheatery.
shit? Yeah, he does.
You never seen him? He does
Okay,
cheatery.
that is not what I
What
was.
did you look up? Adesanya? And the guy came up?
What did you look up?
What's his name?
Just write the last Stylebender.
This guy.
Have you been seeing their beef?
James.
Him and John Jones?
It's not really a beef, but yeah, it's funny.
Like a little-
Anyways, let's get to it, man. John Jones supposed to be fighting Dominic Reyes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I don't know Dominic Reyes too well. I haven't really seen many of his fights.
That's nice.
What I do, he's like 11-0, right? Some shit.
Yeah, but I don't think
Stylebender, I
he's
love it.
better than Santos.
This one?
Santos
was dangerous, bro.
Yeah, I don't know
that
if
dude
he's
was
better.
dangerous.
I don't know if he's
UFC,
better than
right?
him,
Yeah.
bro.
So
I
I think Dominic Reyes though has hands too.
Yeah.
He has a 77-inch reach.
Yeah.
I think Jones got more.
I
I think Jones 85.
That guy's nice, yo.
Jones is built like a heavy, like his length is a heavyweight's length.
Yeah.
That's what it is. He fights from the outside, which isn't wrong. Like you should fight with your weapons.
Right.
You know, you stay on the outside. When he fought Santos and wanted to fight that motherfucker, I was like,
It says he's 12-0.
12-0. Okay, so I think he's like 11-0 in the UFC or some shit like that. He has like a crazy record in the UFC, 7-0 or some shit. So for him to get Jones now, it's kind of a thing coming. I was hoping that it would have been Johnny Walker, but Johnny Walker just lost his last fight.
Is he sponsored by Johnny Walker?
He needs to be.
I feel like that's a
He needs
missed
to be.
opportunity.
I feel like the Johnny Walker fight was stopped early Remember we watched that card?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like it was stopped early, and I was pissed because I was like, Johnny Walker stood up and said, "What happened? Like, why'd you stop?" You know what I mean? I shouldn't have said what happened because I think he just said like, "Why'd you stop the fight?" But I seen a couple of Dominic Reyes highlights. I'm okay with this. In the same sense, it's the same thing when he fought Santos. Just stay on the outside.
Right.
Jones wanted to bang on the inside with Santos. That does not mean he's gonna fight the same fight with Reyes.
Yeah.
So Reyes might not have those opportunities that Santos had. You know?
He's 12-0 in UFC.
That's what it was? Okay.
How much is
Jones is undefeated too. All his fights. I think
get
it's like,
that one.
Nah.
He's 25-1.
We don't count that.
Nah.
The
You
no
don't count
contest.
that.
Yeah.
He's 25-0.
No, the 25. Yeah. The 25-1. They told him it was a 12-6 elbow, and Herb Dean corrected it and said, if you look at the angle of the hips, that's how they gauge it. Like when you can get leverage.
Oh damn. He does have an 84-inch reach.
Told you. If you go from the hip, that's what they say. We want to watch the leverage of the elbow. So if you're going from 12-6 standing straight up, you can leverage at the hip, right? But since they were he was in guard, and homeboy, so that means that they're on the ground, and Jones was on top, and so it was a closed guard. So meaning Matt Hamill had his legs to secure John Jones' hips. So Jones would have to explode out and then throw the elbow. If he's throwing the elbow 12-6, he'd look like this from the ground.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where his elbow probably came from 1, which is fine.
To 7.
See what I mean? So he would swing across.
But that's such a small fraction.
But
and
leverage though, that's huge.
But it matters.
No, I get what you're saying, but like you for a ref to gauge.
No, exactly.
Bit,
but that's why the commission should move it to a no contest.
Because what you're saying is from here to here, right?
Mm-hmm.
That little bit.
And in all honesty, I feel like you would lose some power when you way up here.
And you absolutely do.
I can't even.
You absolutely
would lose. Yeah.
But like. So you're asking the referee to like
in real time,
and flawlessly, and I'm pretty sure right now a lot of the referees are trying to make sure that these people's careers last longer.
Well, it's a matter of just protecting.
You have to stop the fight within because these guys are trying to get. How many years is a standard like mixed martial arts like professional
fighter?
Career?
Probably max is like 4 years.
4 years.
5
trying to
max.
get them.
That's an active guy,
right?
Like some guys take time off, but
and it's a referee's job to make sure that this person continue fighting within those years.
Yeah.
So like
that's a very rough job to have.
I honestly think that the 12-6 rule should be taken out, and a rule should be implemented where if your fingers are extended
the poke
for a certain amount of time, it's an automatic warning. If you poke a knife, automatic point.
Yeah, because I can end the fight right away, like
automatic.
But yeah, so with the Jones thing, I'm excited for the fight. I think we're gonna see a smarter fight rather than because he went out there to fight Thiago Santos. He wanted to fight his fight. He said, "I came out here to show y'all my striking." I said, "Wrong motherfucker to do it against. Yeah. What are you doing?"
That dude got Mjolnir on his chest.
Yo, this motherfucker has Mjolnir tatted on his chest.
And, oh my god.
What? Mjolnir.
Oh,
yeah.
Me.
So he's out there. But so Jones got his fight. We got the Kamaru Usman and Kobe Covington finally. Yeah. Kobe been stripped of that what do you call that shit? The interim title.
It's a fake title he had.
He got stripped of it.
Yeah.
Because Kamaru is now champ. But
did you see that the fight that's happening next week?
No, who is it?
I don't remember who's the main event, but Marlon Moraes is on it.
Oh, Marlon Moraes.
And he's facing.
Oh, that's
he's facing a dude that Conor McGregor knocked out with that one hit, with the one punch, and he's like sorry after.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember his name right now.
It don't matter. No, the other guy did.
McGregor.
I know that got Brian Ortega in the Korean Zombie. That's that card.
Sorry, you knocked me out.
No. He said like he punched. Conor McGregor punched him back in.
Eddie Alvarez.
Was
that who it was?
Yes.
Or are you sure?
Yeah, it's Marlon Moraes and Eddie Alvarez, and that's.
But Alvarez is fighting Bellator, I thought.
Nah.
You sure it's not what's the name who got the Jose Aldo?
Pretty sure it's Eddie Alvarez.
Aldo just came off of 2 big wins. Okay, well, anyways, and tonight Deontay Wilder is fighting Ortiz for the second fight. Personally, it's not a fight that he should have picked up. All you're doing is risking a loss on a guy you already beat. If you ask me, the original fight that he was supposed to have, homeboy popped hot for whatever kind of enhancer he was using. Mm-hmm. So what you should have did is went back to the drawing board. You shouldn't have just tried to fill the spot just because whatever. Because now you're not fighting for money. Now you're fighting for your legacy. He was right. Yeah. So now you're fighting for your legacy. When everybody is on watch and knows this motherfucker got a hand to put someone to sleep. So with that being said, all these guys you're fighting are already, because he's a lighter heavyweight. Mm-hmm. He just makes that cut. Where these other guys are well into the heavyweight, so they probably got a good 20 pounds.
They're big boys.
So I'm not saying like, oh, they're going to beat you all the time, but they will be checking your chin. They're going to see what you got. And most of the time, you've been able to fucking put it out there and knock them out. But to go back and redo a fight, for what? You already showed us you beat this guy. Right. All your fights, you've won through knockout. The one guy who made it out of, like, you knocked out late, or you didn't knock him out. You went back and fought him and knocked him out.
Even though
this guy you already knocked out.
Even though the win was questionable, that'd be like George Masvidal really giving Diaz another fight. Masvidal was fucking Diaz up.
Nah, I told you that was a wrap. Like that was a wrap. Yeah, Masvidal is the baddest motherfucker. I told you he was mopping him.
Sure, Diaz was turning up in the third round, but could he really have done another 2 rounds?
Yo, you saw the difference in when Masvidal hit.
He wasn't even tired.
When Masvidal hit Diaz, you saw it. Yeah, when Diaz was hitting Masvidal, he was just backing up because he was just trying to touch him. He was touching him.
Which fight are we on now?
We're on the Deontay Wilder one. We're almost done. Yeah, that was just boxing. I don't really follow boxing like that.
No, I'm listening.
I
like
so.
Boxing stuff. I just want to know what's happening.
I just stopped.
Lomachenko's nice.
I don't know. I don't know much. I really honestly I just know the 3.
I want him and Adrian Brown in the fight.
I only follow the 3 big guys really. Wilder. Oh, sorry. Wilder. Fury.
Tyson Fury is nice.
And the other dude who got to fight Andy now. Andy Ruiz again. The British dude.
Who?
The British dude.
I don't know his name.
Everybody likes to call that motherfucker Adonis for some reason. Anthony Joshua.
The one that just, he got knocked. You seen the one like.
Bro, Andy Ruiz is a real... Yo, that motherfucker's record itself shows you. And Andy Ruiz was on the shelf because motherfuckers didn't want to fight him.
Nah, that's exactly what it was.
Can you look up Andy Ruiz's record? I think he only lost 1 fight, and it was like to a big name.
Do you see how fast he is for a big dude like that?
Bro, his counter punches too?
Fast, man.
I think he only lost 1 fight.
That kid's fast.
1 pro fight.
27 wins.
How old is he?
He is
about 250.
30 years old.
Yeah, so he's still in his prime.
He got another couple of years.
I only see.
Look up his record.
I did.
So is he undefeated?
No, he's not undefeated. He lost the fight.
Why are you offended? He lost. No, he's not undefeated. Don't talk bad. What you talking about?
I don't know.
How dare you?
So he has 33 wins, 1 loss.
So, like I said, this guy...
22 by knockout.
Huh? Yeah, you was right.
22 by knockout.
No, but like I said, this guy... No, he's the real deal. But the problem is, over time, when motherfuckers see him up and coming, motherfuckers was dodging him. Mm-hmm. So then, Anthony Joshua had a fight over here with the dude who also pissed hot, Belize. That's who he was supposed to fight in New York. Right. Belize pissed hot and wasn't able to fight. So Ruiz jumped in, came in for the fight on short notice.
Fuck shit up.
And put him down. But Joshua seen him and thought it was gonna be an easy fight.
Hell yeah.
And this motherfucker said, "Oh, cause no bullshit." Joshua checked his chin early.
He started moving his legs.
Cause remember when Ruiz dropped? When Ruiz got dropped in like the 3rd round, I think it was. And then Ruiz got up.
Yes.
Yo, from then on, Ruiz was like, I know I could take his punch and push forward the rest of that fucking fight.
And then it was over after that. Like he was like, "Oh, that's it."
Yeah, I got this.
Like, that's it.
Yeah. So. I mean, the Deontay Wilder fight, it's always fun to watch him fight, but like I said, I don't think it's not worth returning to someone you already beat. Right. Especially, like I said, you're cementing a legacy now. Like, you got to show, that this, your one-punch power is your legacy. And if you get clipped or caught right now while champion, how many belts are you going to lose in that fight? Yeah. I don't think you're just going to lose the 1 belt, right?
And he's the one that said he wanted to unify them all.
Yeah, I mean, but he tried.
But they got knocked out right there by the Andy Ruiz. He wanted to
No. Joshua didn't want. Joshua talked the talk, But when Wilder said, okay, I'll come and I'll fight there, then you try and make all this shit where the purse is going to be, first off, in like one of the most manly sports, the money bag is called the purse. Anyways, he said we got to split the fight 60-40 or some shit, or 70-30. Some wild shit. Where Wilder's also the champ. Wilder is traveling to your backyard to fight you, to unify the belts. So you split that shit 50-50 or do 45-55, whatever the fuck it need to be. But you talking some 60-40. You bugging. So Wilder tried to unify and Joshua dodged. No bullshit. Then that's why he ended up picking up the fight with Fury, who just came back after his bout with depression and all, whatever the shit was. You know what I mean? So that, to me, Joshua, he's a good fighter, but it's like you didn't want to fight the best of the best at that time, and the fight was there on the table.
Right, that's like one of those. I'll take the fight when it's better for me.
Yeah, basically, you know what I mean? Kinda, yeah.
When I get the upper hand.
Yeah. All right. So to close out, what are your thoughts on Pokemon, James? Go.
Pokemon was better. I was worried about it because so many were out of the game, but like, this might be my favorite game.
I think it's the best one I've played.
I think this is my favorite.
Yeah.
Hurry, leave, James, hurry. Give me your beer. Give me your beer. I got it.
Its sales are probably the lowest since was it Pokemon? I think it was Black.
What was the lowest? Right now?
Sword and Shield, yeah.
Oh shit.
But
really, this might be the best.
I don't think
it's the best.
I don't think it's the game's fault. I think it's not enough switches in people's hands.
I think it's also the complaints online. Like beforehand, before getting the game, all that complaining. You didn't even touch the game.
But that was Nintendo's fault.
Oh, for sure.
That was absolutely Nintendo's fault.
To be honest, you're gonna tell me Nintendo couldn't really put like 10 Pokemon out DLC wise over the span of a couple months?
No, that's what
Why do you have to do?
That's what I think they should do.
That's what's happening. Bulbasaur, Squirtle, they're already in the game. They're waiting for Pokemon Home to come out.
But why did they have to do it as a DLC? Why couldn't they just been there already?
No, launch because you gotta think they wanted to put out the best product they could with as many Pokemon that they can. And still meet the timeline and not sacrifice quality.
I don't believe that's what happened at all.
That's what Homeboy said.
From all the I know, but we already know for a fact that's not what happened because
I don't know his name. I can't
all
say
they did was upscale Pokemon from.
That's what people are saying, but
that's true. They already have proof. They've already
show me
it.
Show me proof.
I'll show it to you.
Yeah.
You see how clean that fucking game is?
No, the game is very clean, but they're using the same skeletal structure that they've always had since they made Pokemon 3.
So what's the issue?
They were saying that the reason why they're getting rid of all the Pokemon that they had was so that they can make these Pokemon have more expressive moves. That's bullshit because they're using the same movement sprites as from the 3DS.
How many Pokemon did they add this generation?
We only have 400 Pokemon in total in the Pokédex, and I don't even
think
many did they add? I don't even think they hit 100.
Okay.
I don't even think they hit 100. So that.
I don't know because if you think about it, like the wild area itself,
it's expensive. But look at Legend of Zelda.
You said expensive or expensive?
It's expensive. It's huge.
Yeah, but it's also expensive.
That was my argument.
No,
look at Legend of Zelda. James, go ahead.
I get what you're saying about expense, but we already know no matter how much money they put in it, Pokemon would recoup that plus.
Yeah. What I meant to say really is like when we talk about the wild area and even in Zelda, like you said. Zelda has that where the world moves without you being in that area.
Right.
Remember though, with character models and stuff, all these Pokemon there's two different layers of the way you can interact or encounter Pokemon, right?
Right.
So that means that you got two algorithms running at once. Because you got the live world screen where you can see the Pokemon,
right?
And then you have the ones in the bushes that you don't see, but you see the exclamation mark.
Right.
So that's two. So that's two algorithms running on a platform or whatever at once. So that's taxing on.
The algorithm for that isn't actually two.
It would have to run twice.
No. The only thing that they would have to do.
How do you do a chance encounter then?
It's the same thing. That's the thing. You're talking about a spawn chance, right? It's the same thing. Only thing the game has to decide is what Pokemon, and then you tell the game, okay, if it's this Pokemon, you make a sprite for it, and if it's not, you make the grass move. Those are the only two things that are happening. You still have the same.
Those are algorithms.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a change in the
algorithm. But it's not as complicated as Derek's making it for this game. It's actually
no.
Not.
I just said that it was taxing. It's taxing on the processors.
But it's not as taxing. No, but what I'm saying is it's not as taxing as you're thinking.
I don't think it takes as much space.
It doesn't. What happened is they wanted to put a Pokemon game out as soon as possible.
C-stick. Give me facts, James. Not this horse crap.
But I am giving you facts.
Show me it.
I will. I'm not gonna look it up on the podcast, but I'll show you it. I'll send you everything. Like
but like to say like, and the way that how clean the game is and how smooth it runs. And the way of the wild area and all that, how it's like pretty much it's a live,
I love the
open
game.
Live thing. I don't think that it was a matter of getting the game out fast.
I think
because how long have we known about this game?
But
they were getting it out on the time that they said.
But that's what they said. They said they were that they were putting the game out as soon as they could.
Yeah.
So they already established that like the Nintendo.
Nintendo gave us a deadline 4 years ago. Or 3 years ago that that this was in the works. We didn't know the name of it. We didn't know what it was gonna be.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is one of the reasons that they said in an interview. I don't know if you saw the Treehouse interview. One of the early ones. They actually said that the reason why a lot of this was happening was because of time. They could have absolutely gotten more time, but these are all facts. If you want my conspiracy, I think Game Freak, because they have another game coming out.
Who, Game Freak does?
Yeah, another
IP
brand new IP altogether. And I think that's where
their intention like going. Pokemon?
No, it's called Town Hero or something like that. And I think that's where Game Freak's attention went.
That's fine.
And
that's fine.
That's why Nintendo was cut so that's why Pokemon was cut so short.
Pokemon came out and it's a fantastic game.
It's a fantastic game. But
okay, what so far from what you played, what are you giving it out of 10?
I will give that game an 8. It's an easy 8. Easy.
I would say 8.5.
I just don't like the lies behind it.
I'll also say 8.5. Maybe 9. It's pretty cool. Time out. For what it is.
Not enough surfing. I said it.
You ain't even at that part, Nick. What are you talking about?
It's one of the things from Pokemon Sapphire.
If I can almost give it a 9 because for it being the flagship game to start off on a home platform,
Pokemon Go. I mean, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
Oh, shut up! That doesn't count.
There was remakes, but I'm saying like for it to be an individual like
brand new Pokemon
game altogether.
Okay.
Nothing more you could really ask for right now. The people want more Pokemon. If you implement it through DLC, I'm 100% okay with that.
If you're asking
game
for more
aesthetic
Pokemon,
wise, time out on the base alone that they put that you can access the box while out.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, but
that alone, I was like, bro.
Very simply.
Go ahead.
If you're complaining about Pokemon already, there's not enough Pokemon. That means you better have caught all the ones you can catch right now.
That's the thing. A lot of
people already are.
You
need to catch all the Pokemon to get the shiny charm. So people already filled up their Pokédex.
What the fuck is that shiny charm?
It increases your
chance.
Yeah.
By how much?
So
5.5%. 0.5.
If you I don't know if I showed you this. I sent you this shiny.
I'm just gonna
beat
all my farm.
If you beat 500 Pokemon, it drops your shiny chance from being 1 in 4,000 to 1 in 685. With the shiny charm, it dropped it down to 518.
That does sound like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but
I'm just gonna beat the game and be done with it. Yep. Okay. Well, anything else you guys want to talk about? Overall, in general, or closing out?
Let me know when you're ready to battle.
Oh shit!
Once my party's done, I'm fucking up everybody. It's not an excuse.
Shit.
You want me at my full potential?
I'm not using my league.
Guys, hold on. Stop. So with the bullshit being spoken by these two, I'll be the referee. I got a shirt for it and everything. We will be live streaming their battle on the podcast. We will be doing it in the next. What do you think you're gonna need?
As soon as I get this Pokemon, I'm down to go whenever.
So we will keep you guys all updated. He's trying to get a specific Pokemon. When it does happen, the battle will go down here. And for anybody who's watching or watches later, send us your friend codes and stuff. We could do some live battles and stuff with others.
Just screenshot them. We'll do the rest of the work.
Yeah. So with that being said, this has been another installment of the With All Disrespect podcast. We appreciate you guys for checking in. Have a good night.
Peace.